I never won. It's all in the mirror.
Anything you want to me.
Guys, I don't know how to tell you this. Will started the clock and the recording at the same time. So we know exactly how long this is going to be. He finally, after a year and a half, realized that he would not be able to work for NASA if you don't coordinate things. That's right. Dropping bombs like Flex. That was Will who dropped that. Bianca.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Let's do I have an update on last week's
What?
episode.
What?
It's not much of an update. I talked to Keenan Thompson,
Yes.
who is a Tuesday listener.
Oh my God. Keenan is a listener.
He's a Tuesday listener. He's not just a listener. He's a Tuesday listener.
A Tuesday listener
the
is
highest level of listener that we have.
Top tier.
Yes.
Feeler.
And they shot Paco Delicious. They filmed it.
That's even.
They filmed
worse.
Paco Delicious. Here's what's great about it. Too racist. They had to reshoot it as
Frenchman.
Pierre Escargot. So it was my idea because it was too racist.
It was
It was
racy.
from me. Yeah, it was too racist for the 90s, which is really saying something. But it's for kids, so they had to tamp it down.
I can't believe they just jacked your shit.
Yeah, Keenan did not know, and I couldn't remember if I told him or not. You know what? Fuck it. Let's call this fool.
Oh my God, let's go.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck this shit.
I love Keenan.
I kind of just told his whole story, but I'm gonna hit
fine.
record, et cetera, et cetera. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it all right.
And let's just pretend we didn't hear it. We want it from the horse's, Keenan's mouth. We gotta use it.
Looks like he's not gonna pick up.
Wait, we might.
Thought he was a Tuesday listener. Turns
Damn,
out he ain't
Keenan.
shit.
Damn.
Let me just say, if he doesn't pick up, I never liked him.
Down with
I know,
Keenan.
since 95.
Damn,
This
Neal.
motherfucker's too big.
I love how Neal our podcast has turned into Neal ambushing his famous friends. Be like, remember that time you shit your pants?
Yeah.
Tell the audience.
Yeah. Kaluuya scared the shit out of me, by the way.
Whoa.
Here,
Whoa.
This is Keenan calling back.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
Hold on.
You guys. I'm not ready.
All right. Look, I'm trying to get you on. I'm trying to blow you up on this podcast.
Oh, snap. I'm blowing up on the pod right now.
I mean, I described you as a Tuesday listener.
Can I make
I'm a Tuesday listener.
You goddamn right.
Damn right. I love your ceiling. Y'all recording right now?
Yeah, we're recording.
Can I say hi to Keenan?
All right, hold on. Bianca wants to say hi because she didn't know.
Pinky.
Keenan! Stop it. Where are you? Are you underground?
Oh, yeah, we're on set right now.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. We're here for a hot scoop, Neal.
I wanted you to tell the Pierre Escargot journey.
Yeah, man. Play the scoop music.
Scoop that, scoop that, scoop that, scoop.
So tell me the story.
No, you tell me. So you didn't know about that I came up with Pierre.
Oh, yeah, I was listening to the pod. I mean, I saw the clip on Instagram, and then I couldn't believe that you hadn't told me that story. How could you never have told me that you, number one, Paco Delicious was your idea, and then you were like semi-okay with Dan just taking
What am I gonna do? I'm like 19.
Pierre Escargot.
Yeah,
That is wild.
because
That's like one of my most beloved joints.
Well,
Like, what are you talking about?
well, Keenan, it's one of we did that. That was us together. You didn't know. That was that I was carrying you the entire time. There was one set of footprints.
The whole time. All my best stuff comes from Neal. You heard it here.
All right. God bless. Peace, man.
Y'all keep doing your thing. I love y'all.
Bye.
All right, buddy. Peace. Okay.
Keenan is
The funny
cool.
thing is, we got a text from Seth in the middle of that may be on the recording. So let's
We'll
stop
have to
down.
blur. We have to Hold on. Intermission. Okay.
We just paused so Keenan just said that he confirmed Paco Delicious. He's a Tuesday listener. And I just paused the podcast because Eddie Murphy, now it'll be last night, but Eddie Murphy was on Seth Meyers last night. I told Seth 15 years ago, Charlie Murphy told me that that John Witherspoon and Paul Mooney were once going to beat up Eddie Murphy. And Charlie looked at him like, what the fuck you talking about? And Eddie said, yeah, Charlie, they weren't always old.
It's just really funny.
So I've known that story for 15 years. Last year, I saw Eddie and I made him tell me the story. He told the story. It's fucking hilarious. He was doing Seth tonight. Seth said, what should I ask him? I said, ask him about that. I don't. And Seth's like, does he tell the story? I was like, I don't know. Just say that you'll cut it out if. Right. And Eddie told the story. So Seth just sent us the footage before it's bleeped. And so you're not going to hear Eddie Murphy say the N-word as Paul Mooney.
Which is the funniest part of the story.
Which I'm sorry to say is very funny.
It's the funniest.
And, but he does a John Witherspoon and Paul Mooney impression. And one of the greatest joys of my life is making the Darkness brothers, Charlie and Eddie, tell stories about their lives, because Charlie was insane. Eddie still remains insane. And their lives are fucking insane. And the way they tell stories is so fucking funny.
That clip, like, on Seth, and if you didn't watch it, I guess it would be last night.
It'll be on YouTube by the time this airs.
It's the funniest. That's one of the funniest. I have heard so many stories working at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
So many stories from insane, crazy, could ruin people's career. Like everything hilarious. That is one of the greatest stories I've heard.
Yes.
It's
so fucking funny, because what Eddie does is so wrong.
Right.
The reason they want to fight him is correct.
Correct.
And then Mooney threatening to shoot him. Mooney was going to shoot John Landis and Eddie Murphy before 48 hours. That's what
fuck you, nigga. It's just so funny.
Mooney was going to shoot in the parking lot of the Comedy Store in 1982 or 81. Paul Mooney was going to murder Eddie Murphy and John Landis before they did Coming to America, Trading Places, or 48 Hours.
Yeah, if the Comedy Store doesn't play that clip, it's just so good.
I know. The sad thing is, it's not in the documentary.
Ugh, it just should. That's the shit that.
The thing with the documentary is, I don't think people knew who was doing it. Eddie's very. If you don't, he's not impossible to get in touch with.
But also, I think they did a good job. But there are a lot of these like little stories.
Yeah.
That are a part of the like comedy clubs.
Yeah.
That you got a lot, but then these ones just fell through the cracks.
That's what I was talking about when we talked about the documentary, is the little rivalries.
Yeah.
That don't, like, that's not part of a narrative. That's not part of a larger narrative.
You can't make a thing about it.
It's about brotherhood. It's just about like, fuck you. And Witherspoon told me he was waiting on a Coke dealer because he was waiting on a Coke. He needed money from the spot to buy cocaine. So Eddie runs the light. Mooney had to wait an extra hour for his cocaine, his serving of cocaine. That's what he told me. With John Witherspoon. I don't know if I said Mooney. Witherspoon was waiting on his cocaine dealer.
Yeah, you know,
he had to coordinate cocaine with his nostrils.
If I was doing the Comedy Store documentary, I would go and.
You know what we can do? I don't know if we can put the clip in this.
Why not?
Because it's NBC's intellectual property. Well, they'll be like, you got to take that down.
Yeah, we don't want any trouble. Can we put the audio?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
whatever. Watch it. Go. We'll link to it.
If I was like the most amazing, hilarious stories I've ever heard. Obviously, working there, you get them, but on Mitzi's funeral,
Mm-hmm.
all those people, all those old comedians had the funniest stories that will never live beyond their kind of generation, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit here and there, but like, I'm like, go hit up. Look, they're all on the wall. All the people you need to hit up are on the wall. Like, I know they hit up current people and like rising stars.
It's hard to get Eddie. It's hard to get Dave. It's just hard to get. It's hard to get people. It's hard to get guys that are like stratospheric. Jim Carrey's come down from the stratosphere.
But what I mean is sometimes those stories also live at a molecular level. Like sometimes they live in May. You know what I mean? Like sometimes,
May Ali, who's Muhammad Ali's daughter, who was a comic,
right? Or like Eleanor. I mean, Eleanor wasn't it, but I just mean there are, like those stories are so, I don't know. They're in every corner that you can. I just feel like there's some that fall through the cracks. Obviously, that's because Eddie is Eddie, and he's not just like. And
I wouldn't know it unless Charlie told me.
Yeah, so let's say Charlie was never on the show.
Yeah, it's like the cascade of guys. The dominoes of history fell just right
for us to have the.
I'm so happy, and I'm a little embarrassed that Eddie didn't say anything beyond when he heard my name.
It was a week. Yeah,
it was not the best I've ever heard. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. Eddie Murphy. He's not undecided on me. I can't explain it. I can't explain it, but he likes me, but he's kind of like, I think he's kind of like, what with me? It's like Eddie Murphy when I made him tell that story at there was a Netflix party last year before COVID, and I made him tell the story to like a circle of people. I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but when I'm like a pain in his ass. I'm like, it's the thing I used to say about my brother Tommy, where we'd say, will you play a board game with us? And he'd go like, I got to poo and do my laundry. Eddie has to poo and do his laundry whenever I'm like, okay, so Eddie, would you mind?
Right.
And he's like, oh, okay. Like, here you go, kid. But I'm 47 and good at comedy. So even though, I seem like a child to him, and he is my hero of my life. But I got him to say that he at least knows who I am.
Yes. Praises.
And that is one to grow on. Anyhow, Bianca, so Keenan, we've checked in with Keenan.
This is already eventful.
Eddie. Seth, we've checked in with. Now, you've got Meghan Markle's number. Is that what I understand? You're friends with Meghan Markle? Oh, I forgot to say, Kaluuya. I didn't think Kaluuya was going to call. I just texted him. Mm-hmm. Like, do the podcast.
You didn't.
I didn't say. He didn't say yes or no. So when he called, I got like a fucking adrenaline surge. I was like, whoa! I was just so shocked and surprised.
It was great.
Yes, and and it was great, and
we're doing pretty good on our.
We're doing a lot of
guys.
Guys, Kenan Thompson, Dana Kaluuya back week to week with an Eddie Murphy clip that we can't show. What? So you watched the Meghan interview?
Did you not watch?
I watched.
Come on.
I watched all of it up till Prince Harry got in there, and then I watched a little bit of that.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's the bombshells are all. Did
you have the thought?
Okay.
That. Because honestly, to me, I was like, this is just a fucking white family. That's kind of what I thought.
Sorry, who?
The royals.
Okay.
Like the queen and I'm not talking to her and and she said this.
He pulled a Neal. He's like too toxic. I gotta cut off.
Like it's just a white. It didn't. The how dark is the baby's skin was like bleak.
Also, the funny thing is he's the whitest. He's whiter than all of them.
The baby?
The baby is so white.
Yeah, I don't really.
Archie.
Baby Archie.
Baby Archie.
He's creamier than Harry. Harry's like red white.
Well, no one's as white as Harry.
Yeah. All right. That's like kind of contradiction of what you just said, that he's whiter than anybody.
Because he's the only ginger in the whole thing. But I just love that It's like, what will his skin color be? And I understand genetics when you have it could have been darker.
Could have
for
been,
sure.
yeah.
For sure. But
I mean, having said that, if you didn't tell me Meghan was part black, I wouldn't know.
really?
No, unless you told me.
Really?
No, there's not. There's nothing about Meghan Markle that I go. I don't think black people would have claimed her unless they knew. Do you know what I mean? You know how black people will claim.
Black.
She looks like a white lady to me. It's not like Babe
really
Ruth. For white people listening, black people claim Babe Ruth, meaning before the racial draft, they would just claim people like, he's black.
Mm-hmm.
And with Babe Ruth, you go, yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean in terms of features. I see why black people are like, first of all, no white boy can hit home runs like that, and his features, I can see how black people go, he's black. Meghan Markle, she has no features that I think black people would think she's black.
Good thing you're not a black person.
Why not?
Because she looks black.
Really?
Yeah. She doesn't. I don't know.
She looks like. She looks as white as my sisters. Not the ones but she looks as white as any white person to me.
Oh, okay. I mean, who cares? She looks. I would look at her and be like, she's part black.
Black people claim Michelle Wolf a lot.
I think it's we were like, is she part?
Right.
But she has it's also you can be like a dark Italian sometimes.
Of course. Well,
off.
that's what Michelle looks blacker than Meghan Markle.
I would say if we're going to do the
if we're doing this,
if we're do it, if we're going to do it.
No other podcast is going to do it.
Nobody else. Only us. If we're going to do it, I don't know about dark, but if Michelle Wolf said she was half black, I wouldn't at all bat an eyelash. But there's a lot of them, like Rita Ora, she's Albanian. What's the guy that your friend SNL Big Mouth?
Pete Davidson?
Yeah, everyone thinks he's black, he's not.
Yeah.
So it's these kind of mixes but it's the slight nuance of, I'm sensing a little black.
Yeah, it's Michelle looks red boned and
I'm just saying she has as much of some going on as anybody else that gets suspected of it.
I just wouldn't have ever thought. I never would have thought it.
Okay.
And I still claim you wouldn't have unless you heard.
No, absolutely not. You're wrong. What are you talking about?
I don't, there's.
So you don't, but somehow I have to go down with your ship? No.
I don't think there's anything race. I just think it's all the black people I've seen and all the white people I've seen, if someone said, is she black or white? I go, she's white. It
but
wouldn't
that's
occur to
you.
me.
I know a lot of very light-skinned black people that have a dark skin.
You will only hang out with them if they're lighter than a paper bag, a lunch bag.
I think you're confusing me with your dick. Okay.
Oh my God!
Actually,
not on this week with all of the don't besmirch Keenan. I'm sorry that you're.
Keenan, don't
hear
listen
this.
to this vitriol. No, I don't. So I don't know. But no, she looks like a black person to me. To the untrained eye, maybe not, but.
I thought I had a trained eye.
Yeah, this is the problem.
Hell of a way to find out.
All that ayahuasca,
my eyes
yes.
are not trained.
All those beads.
Trained.
Wow.
I'm skinned trained.
Okay. So what'd you say? Okay, besides the.
So white family. That was my first takeaway. This sounds like not with the skin stuff.
That could not be a white family.
Meaning, no, not in my particular white family. Everything.
You're doing a lot of projecting in this conversation.
Right. Well, my white family's the only one I've ever been in. Dysfunctional family.
Yes.
It sounded but the thing about you're not gonna get protection. We need a picture of them. Was just sounded like, sorry about the buzzsaw in the back. Nothing we can do. Imagine that it's Keenan. What? It's Keenan doing work over near my house. Just to give people a picture. Imagine it's Paul Mooney.
Saying the
But you
N-word.
motherfucker would. Okay, so that stuff is where you're like, I don't know. I believe it 1,000,000% that
Yeah.
they said how dark is the baby gonna be. She didn't know who directly said it.
She knew, she just didn't say.
Well, it wasn't the queen.
No. The queen is not, a lot of this isn't coming from the queen.
The weird thing is it's brand management.
Yeah, all it is. It's
But-
just marketing.
Yeah, and you wonder what they're marketing.
Their marketing, I mean, I think they have to understand that the problem is, and he even said it, he let it slip and no one's really talking about it. He said, you get like the institution, the firm, the family, whatever the fuck, has a perfect opportunity here and they don't want to take it. And he pointed to her. And he was basically saying, you guys could make a 2.0, you could make the royalty.
They could do a rebrand. Yeah.
You could rebrand, invite her in,
They
that
could
was
do a Creed.
what?
They do Rocky, but with a black guy.
Right.
They
Oh,
could
I was
do-
thinking Creed the band.
No, I mean, they could obviously take it higher.
Take it out.
But I'm saying they could do a Creed where they do a reboot
Right.
of the monarchy with
Black reboot.
Michael B. Jordan. And they could do that. And
it was weird that they would. And he's just like, I brought you a black, perfect
guys,
black
this is
version.
the perfect opportunity
This is perfect opportunity
to upgrade
rebrand.
this whole thing.
Because I think,
Take it into the future.
the monarchy is served a different purpose in, like, let's say even the first half of the 1900s. Now it's just, these are our designated celebrities.
Yeah.
These are our country's celebrities.
Yes.
They don't really do much.
I mean, there are mascots. There are San Diego
Yeah.
Chicken.
Yeah. So now it's not about the queen doesn't go and figure out relations between countries and all that nonsense. So it's just like, how are you going to change, like, let your celebrity, you're making
Well,
a
no,
funny
it's
face.
that's
I
you're
like it.
exactly right. Like they're how do you make like upgrade your shit?
Upgrade shit. They're like on, not dial up, but like whatever was after. It's like, you guys, they were not
AOL.
ready to, they were just,
BOL.
they were not ready to they're making incremental changes at their pace, which just didn't.
Is from the 1700s.
Yeah.
When he was complaining, I started talking like him, and I was like, because you know how I feel about the
Dodgy.
monarch. The
Right.
monarchy is silly.
Yes,
and
yes,
stupid. It's just like, there was a game of tag. I'm it, and then I'm not it. It's like the whole thing's fucking stupid that you're a prince.
Of course.
The whole thing.
Of
That's
course,
the
of
thing. I
course.
wish he said, let's be clear. It's all stupid and random. That my fucking great grandfather happened to be some
Guy.
fucking buddy, and then they said the Church of England said he was from God, and then fucking
Right.
he's not. He was a regular guy.
But the problem is that the problem is that there are people that are, what do they call it? Like loyalists or something in England. Like, it is part of his culture, that whole thing. There are people that's very important to. Like, Jesus is important here, like the queen and keeping up with the monarchy and what is allowed and what isn't allowed. And
Yeah.
So
The square dance rules. Like, no, now we curtsy and we switch.
all that shit, like, that is kind of low-key important to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It seemed like he had to do he had to learn a lot more life lessons than she did.
Meaning he'd never dealt with racism before.
Or dealt with it on that level,
Yeah.
Of course not. But I mean, come on. Remember he dressed up like a Nazi because he thought it was cute.
Yeah. It
So-
was. It was pretty cute.
It was cute.
In his defense, it was pretty cute.
I do
No
wonder-
one saw it coming.
I do.
I lost a lot of money because I bet he would never dress like a Nazi on Halloween, and I fucking lost 10 grand.
I do think though that I'm not going to say she knew what she was like. No, of course not. Like, that, you can't really totally know. That's such a weird thing, right? But I could have told you there would be so much racism you thought you were suffocating. Like,
well, that goes to the thing I said a few weeks ago where it's like, it's usually worse than you think. It's worse. You think it's gonna. You'd go, hey, she's marrying a black girl, even though I don't acknowledge her as black. She's marrying a black girl. I might be a little weird, but you don't think it's gonna get to like, what color will the baby's skin be? Can we get to? Can we go and do an amniocentesis to see the darkness of the skin? Can we get the skin sample so we know how bad this is going to be?
Will it be human?
It is
black?
Weirdly, that baby is like the Jackie Robinson. I guess Meghan's the Jackie Robinson of the royal family, but I don't think they like anyone that they marry. I don't remember any of these women being
like getting it easy.
Yeah, she seems all right. And no, there's never a mild opinion about these women.
Well, the interesting thing was that they're, at least from the interview, it's like the family's take on everything is just like a toxic family. Like, we all went through it. You know, it is what it is.
That's where it's white family.
Yeah, that's where it's just like it's abusive. It's like, well, I've had that feeling at places I've worked where I'm like, this doesn't need to be abusive just because you're a bartender.
Yeah.
And somehow
that's
you're ordained
what we've always done.
to yell at me and call me out of my name. And when I complain about it, I'm making a big deal.
Yeah.
But you're a 2-bit, like, okay, whatever. I'm getting, this is me projecting now. I'm just saying that there's.
I've been this uncomfortable since you said about my skin, the women I date.
I haven't been this uncomfortable.
Brown paper bag.
Since you walked in wearing beads on your wrist.
Guys, I'm beyond a spirit padre. I'm now, I believe, a star child. I don't know how else to put it. I just get called to
wear loose fitting beaded.
I wanted to get a small wrist bracelet from the tribe, and they only make them big. So I'm.
We all dealt with it, Neal.
Yeah. So this is who I am. I'm a star child.
You're the Meghan Markle of ayahuasca.
Yes.
So the funny thing is, now I love my princess, and I've always been a princess fan. Oh, in not her defense, if you saw what happened to Obama and Michelle, how could you ever think it would be good for you? When black people are pushed to a celebrity status in a white country, if you just look at the Obama presidency,
but weirdly, Michelle was hurt by the fist jab thing.
Huh?
Remember the terrorist fist jab?
Her fist jabbing the cartoon?
She just gave somebody a pound, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And New Yorker did a cartoon about it. I can't remember if she was hurt by the cartoon or hurt by
in the corner.
Bottom right of the photos.
Bottom right, the black and white.
If she was hurt by the cartoon or hurt by the
that's so fucked up.
I think maybe it wasn't the New Yorker. No, it wasn't the New Yorker.
Why would they do that?
They were making fun of the idea that Republicans thought they were terrorists because she did that. They literally called it a terrorist fist jab.
I know. That's a little too inside, though. Where it's like, yeah, we're making fun of it. But it's like,
I mean, I get you. She thought so, too. And
you know what I mean?
She likes comedy. So
right.
She's another one. Doesn't like me, but does happen to like things I do.
You have a frame photo of her.
I have a frame photo of her not being that into it. Eddie thinks higher of me than she does, but that's not saying much.
Okay.
I like to think she saw the Mark Twain speech and has come around.
Okay.
I think Barack's like, no, I like that guy, but I don't think Michelle's that into it.
You're so funny.
Anyhow.
You are so funny. No, so I'm just saying, if you see what happens to black celebrities in white countries, how could you not?
It is weird. The only upside is more just shitty than dangerous.
What?
Shit like that. Meaning,
Okay.
But
it is dangerous, though.
I guess they, especially for the Obamas, like the amount of death threats they got was.
Well, and apparently, I've seen people say like, "Oh, it happens all the time," but apparently, Meghan's the backlash and the racist and the nastiness she got, they've never seen. Like it's been it was like unprecedented.
Crazy.
Like, yeah,
like the FBI, the British FBI was like, never heard anything like it.
I'm shocked. I'm really shocked.
Sorry for the accents, Jimmy. You deserve better.
Jimmy. And also, I think the problem is British people have this thing where they're almost worse at admitting.
They don't think they're racist.
But worse than Americans.
They don't even know how they could be.
They're like, what?
But
what?
we've
Absolutely.
got Jamaica. We have a great relationships with them.
The British Virgin Islands.
Yeah, like they have all that.
Martinique.
Yeah.
They don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we're generalizing, but like Piers Morgan, explain something to me. Nihilism. Tap into your nihilism. Why does a person it seems like Piers Morgan, everyone hates. Mm-hmm. At all angles. And even though he'll say something that maybe we happen to agree with or we happen to disagree, everyone has had their turn in totally hating Piers Morgan. Mm-hmm. But he makes it in entertainment.
Because that's his brand. And he's a good broadcaster.
Like I'm the villain.
Yeah, he's just a fucking heel. So he's a heel. It's what they call wrestling a heel. And he just is a fucking asshole, and people tune in for it because they know what they're gonna like. He's the host. He's like the Matt Lauer of what we used to call the Matt Lauer. He's the I don't even know who hosts those shows anymore in the morning.
They all
yeah,
hot
they
potato.
all fucked too hot. They fucking got too hot in the morning. They're morning. That's why I don't do morning sex because those guys they went too wild. So he's just a broadcasting brand.
Okay, he's always going to be. If it's not him, it's going to be
the other thing is, there's a lot of white people in England. I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm betting it's 90%.
Well, someone said in criticism of Meghan that
ethnicity 87%.
Damn. That's a lot of. Why are they so afraid?
White. That's a high percentage.
How are they so afraid of immigrants? They make it seem like the whole place is a fucking chocolate cake.
They invented white. Do you know what I mean? That's Africa of whiteness, kind of. Like they're the fucking.
They're the white supremacy of white supremacy.
They're the empire.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they invented whiteness, but they kind of fucking. Again, it's like in terms of evolution, you just go, oh, somewhere in Europe, and then I guess they swam to England at some point. So I mean, yeah. So that's why a guy like Piers Morgan, you can be racist and everyone's 87%. Like. Common sense.
It's making a lot of sense.
We've done 9 different regions of British accents, by the way. You've done a different one every time.
I can't do it normal. I take from whatever's close. But someone was saying that colorism is what allowed Meghan to marry into the family, but
because she's light skinned.
Because she's light skinned, and anti-blackness is what made them leave.
Yeah.
And so let's say if there were. I don't know. It's like at some point, let's just say the issues they have, because they seem like weird issues. Like they could have not done these things.
It's just a weird fucking branding thing.
It's weird.
And in a country that's 87% white, I can understand why they wouldn't understand.
No, for sure. But
the brand.
But at the same time, and I love the princess, but let's say those things didn't happen that forced them to leave. Let's say there wasn't so much unfairness and harsh retaliatory situations. They would still be part of this super racist thing, you know?
Well, if they hadn't been racist, would the monarchy have been racist? Do you know what I mean?
Right, but or what if they were temporarily not racist to Meghan because they knew it had branding power, but didn't change anything else? They do that a lot. Like, we're hiring a black person here.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily change much, or it doesn't change the whole institution. It doesn't change the systemic issues. So I wonder, like, was it that it's racist, or was it that it was racist to her?
Well, I think in this case, both.
Yeah.
But I guess if
it wasn't racist, if they weren't racist to her, which is, I wonder, would they have came to the same conclusion eventually? I hope so.
I guess my question would be, how many ways can a monarchy be racist other than directly racist to a fiance of the guy?
I think a lot of ways.
I mean, charities and stuff. I don't, because I know, like, I don't know. It's a brand, right? It's a brand. It's the fucking Colonel Sanders or
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, they're the Quaker Oats lady, man. They're Aunt Jemima. They're whatever. Any one of these people.
Okay.
Of England and the sort of history of England.
Commonwealthy.
Yeah. Like, they've taken swipes at all these women. With Sarah Ferguson, it was just you're fat, right?
You're fat. You're like not
classy
you're
or
not,
something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But so does that mean they're fat phobic, or they just? I guess it's
gonna come for you no matter what.
They're gonna that was their end. Racism was their end. Is the monarchy racist beyond being racist toward her? I have no fucking idea.
Well, yeah, it's like colonialism.
But they didn't, like, the history of England's racist, but I'm saying, is the modern brand of royalty inherently racist today?
But the problem is most of them are still, she's the longest reigning monarch ever. And it's one of the longest running monarchies ever. So if she was, I don't know, I think her coronation was in the teens, 19 something, I don't know.
She had slaves at the coronation.
She still is the queen.
Yeah.
So we have
It wasn't the teens, by the way.
It wasn't maybe the 20s?
No, it was like right before the World War II, I believe.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a long time. When did her father die? Sorry, that's what I was thinking of.
1950, the coronation.
No, when did her father die? Like, when did she know she was going to be
44.
queen?
So the
44. Okay, cool.
During World War II.
So whatever. I'm just saying that she's been alive. She's like 93. Yeah. So she kind of has.
I don't doubt I guess I just
I don't think she's racist.
I can't discern between what's the people and what's the brand, and what even is the brand.
If someone that's been alive for 93 years that is the head of the monarchy is still there, I mean, they bring with them a lot of old. I'm not saying she hasn't changed. And I also, when you watch the interview, it seems like she's not the one bringing up a lot of the shit. So I don't know. I think it's just weird that, one, I know a lot of the Commonwealths don't like the queen and don't want to be part of the kingdom or whatever. So I'm wondering how popular really is this? You know?
But this goes I don't even know what this is. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a thing.
Like a thing that people kind of like feel attached to, though.
Yeah. People
do feel weirdly, deeply attached to it.
So then you say, and that thing they're attached to is racist.
No. It's.
Didn't you say that the monarchy is racist?
I said it is like inherently because of, like how they've colonized a lot of like African and Caribbean nations.
They've kind of stopped, though. I mean, like they stopped. England actually got rid of slavery before America.
I understand that, but just because
I think it was a mistake.
But we're not saying that just because you stopped doing like something really fucking racist and evil doesn't mean that there aren't institutionalized racism in your.
Yeah. So I know what you mean. I
guess
I don't even know what it is. That's what I don't. It's one of these things where I don't understand it. I don't know why they have it. Okay. I don't know what it is.
But you're also not sure if it's racist. So
Because I don't even know what it is.
okay, that's you not knowing.
But I'm trying to get what that even. I believe that they said all the shit, but I don't know who's they. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not the Queen, and it's
just
not.
There's higher ups in the
It's
room.
not Kate Middleton, and it's not any of the people, but it's some other person.
There's just it's a company. You know what I mean? It is a company, and there's higher ups, and they're all making sure how to sustain the monarchy in a world where most monarchies have like been put through. You know what I mean? So
I guess that my question is, do they get a cut of these plays? That's what I don't
Wait, what do
understand.
you mean,
Like,
cut
do
of
they
what?
have a VIG on Canada? Like, Canada, you're going to give us
they get money from all these
3% of the GDP.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
Off
why
the
they're
top.
still in the thing.
Will you look that up?
No, they get money.
How does work make money?
Work with their Commonwealth.
Where does it?
All the money, like even in Australia, the
Royal
Queen's
families
on
paid through a mix of public and private funds. Comes from a portfolio of land held in trust. That's the thing. It's not. They don't get a cut of the. It's like this. Where they just they're just fucking cool with her.
Who?
The Queen.
Who?
Canada doesn't. I don't think Canada gives them money.
But regardless of these like little details, because I'm not a fucking historian on this, I'm just saying that like what we're talking about is it racist or not? Is the whole institution racist or not? So
Yeah,
I'm
but
confused
I don't
why
even
you're
know
confused.
what it is.
Right.
I don't know what the institution is. Because I know they own land.
So it's like there's a British Empire thing going on. There's part of it's called the Commonwealth. I don't know. There's
But
countries
that's
in the Commonwealth.
That's like this is my goddaughter. It's not anything. It's like just a thing they call it.
Then why is her face on all their money?
I don't know.
But you don't know. You know.
I know.
So we can't really have that particular part
do
of the
you know?
conversation. I would have answered it if I know.
Okay,
Why do
so
I know?
No, because you're saying like you don't. I don't know.
No,
I'm
but you're saying
I
like
don't
this
know.
wide-eyed saying like I don't know, and I'm saying the only thing I can speak to is that it doesn't surprise me that it is racist. What she's saying.
Nothing surprises me that it's racist.
Right, but you're saying
Don't
I don't
say
know if it
the baby
is.
skin color. But when you say it's racist, what is it?
Okay, okay. So what I'm referring to is racist is the way the monarchy functions and their branding, like behind the scenes. I'm assuming it's racist from certain things. How like the Queen, I think in like one tour she did, she danced with like a head of state in some African nation. I don't remember. And it made headlines and it was like, oh my God, she danced with a black guy. And they were telling her not to do it. I don't know. Seems a little weird and racist.
Yeah, of course. But I don't. Yeah, I guess I'm just like.
I just don't get what you're like.
But what I'm saying, Canada is incredibly white. If they're getting money from Canada.
But we're getting down too many paths. We don't know exactly how the money breaks down.
Everything's racist. But when you say the Queen's not racist.
No, I didn't say that. I just said she wasn't. They said she wasn't behind the racist.
What I'm wondering is who is the president of the royal family? Do you know what I mean? Like who's the head of the brand? Who's the CEO?
Yeah, okay.
Because I don't think it's the Queen, right?
It's like from what I gather, and this might be totally wrong, there's just a lot of aides. There's some that are very high up to the Queen. She does have a lot of say in what happens, but she also doesn't have fully the say in what happens. Like they're not allowed to comment on like certain things, and they are, and da-da-da. But at the same time, this is the thing that confuses me about the whole thing, is that we're making such a big deal about Meghan Markle, but Prince Andrew is like a fucking child molester.
Yeah.
And has been.
Yeah.
And is weird, apparently, like from the stories I've read.
He's
has
molested women that are now in their 40s. Do you know what I mean? Like he's an OG fucking child molester.
So to me, when you have stories of people who,
that
like
they're
how
fine with him, but they're like,
no, just meaning like Diana, that whole thing was like a huge glimpse into like how it's run, because it is really secretive and it is not like, it's not like the president comes out and says anything. It was all very secretive.
Yeah.
And so these stories that you hear, these stories come out, and it's very like, some of them are really sordid, you know? So
Yeah.
it just feels like child molester here. This person was basically like left like no help, no support, Diana. And like you have all these stories that come out and you just wonder, like, it feels a little toxic. So it is not a far cry to be racist.
Of course. But what you seem upset with me because I don't even know what the monarchy is.
I'm not upset. I'm just confused how you're saying, I don't know what it is.
I still don't know what it is.
Okay, but then it's like, okay, I don't know.
But you're saying this Byzantine, not understandable organization is racist. I'm like, what's the organization? And people don't know what the organization, even Will with his fine Googling skills, hasn't been able to uncover what it is. I don't know what it is. It's like land holdings then they don't know who's in charge.
I just think you want information that's easier to get than we have here. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know how to have this conversation. I'm saying I don't doubt the racism. I just don't understand who it is. And I get why they're racist, but I don't understand when it's like the monarchy's racist. Okay, besides her, colonial, I don't fucking know. Like the colonialism, that's obviously colonialism's racism, but I just don't. This speaks to how dumb I think the whole thing is. Okay.
And you're still mad.
No, I'm not. I just don't know how to keep having conversation. I think we're on the same page.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, what
what else came to you in terms of, was there somebody? I had nothing kind of but sympathy for her. I guess
100%.
But a part of me, I didn't even get to like, why did you marry him? It seems like just a fucking bad job.
Yeah, I think everyone, I don't know, maybe there was just a little bit of, I don't know, they liked each other. They loved each other.
Yeah.
So you're going to say, no, I'm not going to, and a prince, come on.
Well, that's where you get into like.
People will marry a prince.
Right. Well, that's where you get into like, you can't cheat an honest person.
Huh?
Meaning a grift doesn't work unless the person wants to make money for nothing.
Right.
So, and I don't think she's a grifter. I'm saying if there was it's the downside of marrying a prince. It's like, I'm a princess now.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you wanted to be a princess.
They should have some sort of, like, even when you get drafted to the NFL, they give you some fucking help on how it's going to be. Like,
someday, Blake, we'll talk about it.
Come on, Blake.
Very funny.
I don't know why they don't have an orientation. It seems so wild to go from just a whatever civilian.
Yeah, when she's like, I didn't know you were supposed to curtsy. I knew that. How did you not know that?
Right. Yeah, so to me, it's like, I don't know. You really want this brand to survive?
Well, that was,
why make it so hard for people that have no idea? So few people in the world will understand what that's like, you know? So,
and when you want to be a princess, what does that mean? What do you think it's going to be?
Well, we also Americans have such a funny love affair with.
But what do you know? But it's like we have a love affair, but yet she seems to know nothing about it.
No, but I think the fantasy of it. So all the good stuff. It's never the princesses, you know, you get raped. Like, it's never.
That's the first thing I think. Were you raped?
No, okay, I'm sorry.
What time's the rape?
Example. That was a bad example.
No, but it is. There's a fucking. I didn't get to you made your bed, now lie in it, but I probably would have if I kept watching. She happens to be very likable and very seemingly
genuine,
rational.
Sincere. I think they just really loved each other.
A decent person.
But they dated for years before they came out.
Oh, got it.
So I don't know. It just seems like a really strange thing. If we think of it in terms of real life, of course you can be like, oh, your son's not getting a name title.
No, I don't. That's the thing. I don't. That stuff I actually truly sympathize with because that's just fucked up family stuff.
100%. I don't get when people compare their lives to them. It's like you have to just go into a fantasy land and then you can see how there's unfairness, there's racism, you know. But if you take it out of context.
But that's what I mean.
What?
Like, it can't all be a fucking ball. That's where it's like, dog, it's gonna. Well, how do you think they got the money? How do you think you can afford that house? How do you think you're sitting in the cottage and the that's where you gotta go? Well, what did you know? Why would you want to? Why did you have a fantasy about a prince and not even in Coming to America in the original? There's like fucking static with like you got to marry a lady and he's forced to marry. You know, we're not going to talk about the sequel and the I won't even get into it.
Wait,
there was a whole thing online about how it was date rape. So a whole other question.
Lord. No. Anyways, we talked about this for a second.
Anyhow,
we should move on.
Well, you're the one who brought rape into this.
I know. I'm sorry.
I mean, I wanted to earlier, so I'm glad you did. So the part of me, it's like I'm 90% like that. It just looks shitty.
It looks shitty.
It just looks like fuck. That looks shitty.
And no matter who's criticizing them, no one wants that life. And once you're in it, it sounds awful. Sounds.
I have a black question. Do you think Tyler Perry offered his house because she's black?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought maybe he just was like, I like them.
Or maybe, but I don't know if William. Maybe he would. They're royals. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I know.
Because we have a weird love affair with royals here.
Yeah, the Tyler Perry's like, I want the princess, the exile. I want them to stay at my place.
It's not. It's like a nice flex.
No, it's
Wait,
a very
why
nice
did someone
flex.
online write like who's going to play the part of Tyler Perry? The fact that Tyler Perry is a part of this story is so
It's very
funny.
funny.
The memes about Tyler Perry is like Medea with a gun, like who's protecting?
That's funny.
Oh my God, it's too
I've
good.
got security. I've never seen a frame of those movies.
But yeah, well now they're in Santa Barbara and they're thriving. So
nobody in Santa Barbara isn't thriving.
It's true.
You go there and you thrive. Don't care about Cuomo. Don't care about Cuomo.
wait, by the way, did you ever watch Kyle Dunnigan's Cuomo show? It's me with Cuomo with Gramps.
I've seen a little bit of it.
The intro is so funny. Anyways, it's
I don't this speaks to the thing of like, don't worship these fucking morons.
well, sorry, this is rude to say, but he's an older guy with nipple piercings. I mean,
Oh right,
he
wait, it's
seems
a bit
wild.
of like football to football.
No. I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying he just seems like a.
He's a messy little bitch. He's a messy bitch. He's the governor messy little bitch. And he's single, right?
Yeah, or maybe he cheated on
I
somebody.
always feel like if don't have nipple piercings if you're married. Like do one or the other. Like you're not going to need those. What do you want? A commitment or nipple piercing? Because you can't have both.
Oh Lord!
Whenever they're like, I'm obsessed with. You don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Whenever there's like a new...
Don't worship anybody.
I'm obsessed with the guy from the cheerleading show on Netflix. And then it turns out he like sexually assaulted or harassed a bunch of underage boys. Just like...
But you know what? Did you ever as a teen cut out... I never did the cut out magazines and put them on my wall.
I did Eddie Murphy. No, I'm kidding.
And Lorne Michaels.
Close.
Who?
I had... This is like, you're going to think I'm kidding.
Oh my God, Neal.
From In Do the Right Thing,
Okay.
Smiley, I believe is the character's name, who sells pictures of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
That came out in 89.
Okay.
And Spike Lee like is the reason I like saw him doing press for Do the Right Thing. I was like, film school? What?
Wow.
What is it? I had the picture of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X on my wall near the light switch. It's so fucking crazy.
That's
Martin Luther
sweet.
King and the mountaintop.
It's just fucking like
I just love that of all the things you had.
just that photo of because
You
it
don't
was
have
in Do
to
the
be
Right
black
Thing.
to be inspired.
It doesn't. You know what, guys? It was more of a Spike than. I have a different story about Woody Allen.
What?
It's something that I remembered watching part 3 of Woody Allen, the third nail in the coffin. very quickly. At Knick games, there's an elevator that when you go, whatever, they give you tickets, you take an elevator.
Okay.
That's like separate. Ridden the elevator with Spike Lee.
Cool.
But here's the better one.
Okay.
2 better ones. Also rode the elevator, Donald Trump and Woody Allen separately.
All 3 separately.
Separately, yes.
And?
With Donald Trump, it's a bit of a baby Hitler thing. Like, I don't know, what should I have slapped the shit? It was in like 2006 or 7.
Oh, okay, no, that was
so
that was
like
just
what?
Apprentice
Melania
Mom.
was there. Like, I don't fucking know.
Any news? No.
I think Melania smelled good. I think I remember.
Okay.
What
What about with Woody Allen?
Woody Allen, I asked for a picture with him, and he goes, "I have to get to my car," and but because I'm a dirtbag, took the picture anyway.
Well,
let me see if I can find it.
We want some evidence.
Hold on, let's keep talking.
Okay.
But the Woody, I have to get to my car.
He was trying to do you a favor. Don't take a photo with me.
Yeah, you don't want. I'm
don't
too
want
hot.
this.
We'll get into that later. I don't even know if I could find it, but it was yeah. So that's the Nick and one time with Spike, whatever. Spike did Chappelle Show, so I know him a little bit.
Right.
The funny thing was Spike is one of my idols, and whenever I see him, he's just bad at small talk, so he just goes, "You shooting?" He just brings up like work.
Just go
like,
straight
you
to,
shooting?
yeah.
And it just became like a joke because he started doing it to Dave too. It was funny that he couldn't think of anything to say to them. Like, you shooting? Anyhow, so don't worship Cuomo, and he's got nipple rings. What did you think? What did you think was going to happen? Because you know what? Somebody made an observation to me about somebody that I've worked with and do work with. They said that guy has very available sexual energy.
Who?
She was talking about somebody that we both work with, but Cuomo.
Oh yeah.
It made me aware. It's my friend Kat said somebody that we work with had very available sexual energy.
That's really funny.
And it's a thing that I've
That's
started
good,
thinking about.
Kat.
It's very good.
It's
Kat
a
is
good
a listener.
description.
It's and Cuomo,
Like,
I
think
believe,
about
has
myself.
available sexual energy, like
Yeah.
little flirty. You have very available.
I have
you have the most available sexual energy, maybe. Very available sexual, if nothing else.
I know.
Sexual energy.
It's true.
You'll
I thought
have to
of
be
myself.
dead for 2 weeks before you stop giving off available sexual energy. That's how big it is.
It is, and it's weird because I don't always.
You don't. It's not. That's the thing
not
about
active.
it. Is it's not
like
you don't. It doesn't mean you want to fuck the person.
No.
That's the thing about available sexual energy. It's like I want to. Some people you do want to fuck. Other people you want to think you want them to fuck. So then you get. And I'm not. I have available sexual energy too. So like. So you.
I like your
it's fun, especially for women. Honestly, it's a good
skill set.
Yes. Unfortunately.
It's helpful.
It's a fucking helpful skill set. And but guys have it too, and somebody tells me Cuomo does it in person. Like if you've got nipple rings and I know and everyone's heard about it, there's a way to not let people know you have them.
Right.
Or you go, I got rid of them.
Right.
I don't got them anymore. And then you replace it with plastic ones so you can get their metal detector. You got to think it through.
Yeah.
So he has available sexual energy.
And men with available sexual energy to me are way more dangerous because not every guy has that. Whereas a lot of women flirt. A lot of women can do that.
Yeah.
A guy that's like a charmer can charm men and women.
Gavin Newsom has it too.
Yeah.
I would bet.
He does.
He has it more palpably on camera than Cuomo does.
He's hot.
With the best, with the best, with the best.
Tex, there's the COVID stuff. I have a lot to say about Dalia, which let's kind of get around to that.
I'm like,
It's it's obvious and then it's not obvious.
Okay. Hey, do you say stymie or stimmy?
Stimulus package.
Oh, because I've said stymie the whole time.
Really? Why? What did you think you were? What did you think stymie was short for?
Stimulus. A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y. Stymie. No?
You made a mistake.
This is bad Bobby. This is bad
Bobby all over again.
Damn,
You're being
stymie?
a bad Bobby. Good for that they got it passed. I actually had an opportunity the first time, and my accountant, who is Eddie Murphy's accountant also, said don't take it, because if it comes, you know how at a certain point they were like, you know who got stimulus?
Yeah.
Like he saw it coming. Like you don't want to be on that list.
Why would you want $1,400?
I don't know. It's not. I need money still.
But I thought
It's
if
technically
you made,
my money. You know what I mean?
No. It's you have to make under like $100,000 or something.
I do make under 100,000, but then I also
day.
make over it. I make under it to a certain point, and then I make over it.
Tricky.
So it's like Mitch Hedberg's old joke. I used to do drugs. I still do drugs, but I also used to do them. Stimmy. So congratulations, everybody who's getting the Stimmy.
Stims.
It's the thing that we should talk about is the town in I can't remember what town, but they gave people $5,000.
No, they gave people like $500
$500 a month, so
month.
$6,000
Yeah, consistently.
for a year.
And they're all doing good.
Yeah, and it like helps with unemployment. It helps. It's like socialism works a little bit. A little bit of socialism actually works. It's Seth, but we can't.
Is he calling?
Seth's calling, but
Call answer.
hold on. Hey, I'm recording a podcast.
Oh, good for you.
So you're going to be on it saying good for you.
All right. Well, I just want to support Squarespace.
No,
Hey,
it's
wait a minute.
Anchor and
Manscaped.
no, what do we do? Anchor and Spotify.
Spotify.
So-
Pandora.
Anchor. Hey, let Spotify be the anchor to your listening pleasures.
Fantastic. That was so great, the video. And the funny thing was that Eddie didn't really acknowledge me with that much warmth, but it's very funny.
Will you call me when you're done with your podcast?
I will. Thank you for
All right,
joining
I love
us. I love you too. Bye.
You guys love each other.
He said he loves me first years ago, and I was like, fuck it. We're saying we love each other.
That's a heart melter.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
When you've been in showbiz long enough, guys, everybody loves you. So Stimmy and the what town? Stockton. Yeah, like it's like fucking
a terrible
giving
town.
people money works.
Yeah.
Give them money. It seems like, oh, you're trying to buy your way out of problems. Money fucking solves a lot of problems.
Buy your way out of problems is the right way to solve problems.
Yes, it's like, first of all, if you don't like buying your way out of problems, then you don't like America.
It's true.
Because that's what we do.
That's what we do.
So good for you, Stockton, and good for you, Stimmy. COVID, even, last week when I said COVID's flat and people were like, fucking bad science. It's like, no, dog. It's about 60,000 people a day are still getting infected. No, there's not. It's fucking, look at the chart. You know what's funny about COVID is after Kaluuya wouldn't say, LeBron yesterday wouldn't say either.
Interesting. Do you
He's
think
like,
LeBron watches?
I don't think he does.
Okay.
Although in terms of what do they think of me, let's play a game called, hey, what do they think of you, Neal?
Okay.
I think
Sounds
LeBron
like a fun
likes me
game.
more than Michelle Obama and Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
So there
Neal has like a Rolodex of, no, you're moving down.
Well, it's a human interaction. It's a human warmth level.
He was very warm.
He knows he knew who I was before I met him and knows. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
He's fucking in high school when Chappelle shows on. So
Oh, yeah. You always forget LeBron is not as old as...
that old, yeah. He just looks 70 and has since he was 13.
Now he's not going to like you.
Okay, so sorry for black people, you can't say what you're doing with the vaccine. If you're a famous black person, you just gotta
just do it.
That's between me and my family, and it's a woman's right to choose.
Me and Will were talking before the podcast, and he was like, "So it's probably over," and I was like, "No, it's not over." But
COVID?
I feel like, no, he meant like, okay, are things winding down? But I just think a portion of it is winding down.
You hope that the worst part's over.
Right. Like, I hope the high anxiety, confusion of last year won't repeat itself.
I don't think that if you look at actually it was this year. January 9th was the peak of infections.
Oh, and you're talking about last year or this
No,
year?
this year.
Oh, okay.
January 9th, 2021 was like the peak. If you look at the chart,
that was
that's
when
the
they were
high
like,
point.
it's going to surge from the holidays. And stuff.
Yeah, that was the surge. It was like 140,000 people a day or something.
Yeah,
or maybe more. It might have been 230.
It was bad.
It was just atrocious. So that's, I think, definitely over. Whether it's a thing, there's a new thing. There was a thing on 60 Minutes last night where like antidepressants work. So I'm good. I'm kidding.
What do you mean?
There's a certain antidepressant that for some reason knocks it out.
Interesting. What? Didn't
yeah.
you say there's people with some sort of lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, that COVID actually cleared?
No,
was that my time?
Sounds vague. I don't think it was me, but
no. You showed me a photo of lungs, of some type of cancer that was cured from having COVID.
Yeah.
You don't remember?
Nah, vaguely.
Okay.
Look, I show a lot of people a lot of things.
You really do.
Okay, so
yeah,
I think it's never going to be that fucking bad. I mean, I don't know how bad these variants are, but if there's 100 million vaccines that have been administered 90, so 90 million vaccines have been administered by this point, and in a country of 320 million people, we're getting like it's a numbers game. It's just another like this many people have been vaccinated and this many people have been already infected, still have antibodies. It needs the virus needs houses, and we have a housing shortage in our country. We have a viral housing shortage.
Are you gonna travel in the summer safely?
I'm hoping to start a show in New York in August. That's the hope, gang. Coming soon. So I'm hoping to start a show. I think I like to. I mean, if you look at just the amount of infections in California, we only had the whole state for the week had like 5,000. Yeah. And in the country, we're under 40,000 people in the hospital now, which is
so low.
Which is at one point it was 130 or something.
Yeah.
So we're doing. Everything's trending in the right direction. It's just trending slowly. It's like my career. That's the truest thing I think I've ever said on the podcast. It's growing.
All right.
Let's hurry up a little bit. So Texas, Rest in Power King is opening.
100% open
for business. They love saying open for business.
It's just like you just barely made it.
They have more infections than California.
They have more infections. They have so many issues in Texas. Yeah, where like don't celebrate.
Turn the lights on, huh? Before you open for business, you're gonna need
boiling
lights,
water,
right?
Boiling snow to flush your poopies.
Oof.
So I'm now mad. The tough talk's coming out. You guys.
Tough titty talk.
Texas.
Yeah. So what's a COVID pass? Is that the thing with the? What? You wrote COVID pass on your list.
Oh, that's one of
anything.
That have been a bad Bobby. I'm being a bad. Sometimes I write Neal and
and
it doesn't make sense.
It's fine.
But they're full.
I knew you wanted to talk about COVID, sweetie. That's
They're
okay.
full. They're full words.
Sweetie, you know what? There was an article in CBS Sacramento. It's not it's a TV station about how there really was no actual exodus from California this year or in 2020. Like, it was like everyone's moving. It's not true.
No,
A lot of people moved out of San Francisco, but they just moved to other parts of the Bay.
Right. Or there was the exodus that I saw was that when you looked at the numbers, it just less people came
Moved
into
in.
California than normally, and the amount that moved out was
the
uptick.
same.
No, it was like a little bit of an uptick too, but it's a perceived.
It's also like 200,000 people. It's not
exactly. That's exactly
what.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like
the
200.
streets are empty. Parking's free now.
And then people are like, oh, well, the rentals. It was like a lot of people went to live with their parents.
Yeah.
Didn't mean they left the.
Yeah. Doesn't mean they're doing good. Doesn't mean they're mad at California. It means they don't got the money.
Demo.
Dr. Seuss, your thoughts?
Okay, my thoughts on Dr. Seuss are everyone's making a big deal out of it.
The truth of it is, of course, the truth is so much milder than the headline.
It's just the
estate, yes,
is saying we're just going to take these 6 books off the shelf, and they're like way less known Dr. Seuss books.
Yeah.
They're ones where I'm like, oh, that's a long title.
One of them has the N-word in it, which I thought was pretty racist.
Neal. So it's 6 books. And the funny thing is, I read an article that, and I didn't remember this. I vaguely remember it, but how when the Lorax came out, the conservatives were so against Dr. Seuss because it was preaching for like environmentalism.
Mm-hmm.
And so Fox News, everybody, I think in Mendocino, there was like the lumber union wanted to ban the Lorax because it attacked their industry.
Yeah.
And so there were calls to ban the book, ban everything. When the movie came out, they wanted to ban it. And now when it's an environmental issue, it's a threat and we have to ban it. But when it's a racist issue,
it's cancel culture.
We have to protect it.
Well, everybody's got it's a common sense when they want to do it, and it's cancel culture when they don't like it.
So it's just very funny how they wanted to cancel the same Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, there's no, but that implies that there's any logic to Republic and it's whatever. And by the way, it came from the estate. There was no demand.
Yeah, it wasn't like
they were like, look, this is fucked up. I'm sure that I don't know. A lot of it's the drawings, so they'll probably replace the drawings and re-release them and then make money that way. But they didn't. They're like, it's not good for our brand to have this out there.
Yeah.
They're the opposite of the royal family. Where they're like,
really should have taken some.
Racism is bad for the brand, whereas whereas the royal family was like, inclusion's bad for the brand. We are the Yankees. The Yankees. The New York Yankees. You can't have like facial hair. It's just some weird shit. Like if you're a Yankee, it's some other. Sure, it's gotten better, but it used to be like you shave and you comb your hair. Yeah,
I used to work for Whole Foods, and you had to wear black socks. If you didn't have black socks, it was an issue.
Wow.
So
you'll be hearing from me. Nike kid had a woman who worked for Nike. Her son was a shoe broker. Whoops.
Whoops.
Look, if you're asking me, Neal, have you ever been sent Nikes and then took them to Undefeated?
Flight Club?
Nah, not me. Take them to Undefeated, take them to Flight Club. Make it quick. What happened was, the truth is, I was given an incredible pair of Jordan 11s in red. Will, go ahead and pop that up.
The burgundy?
Yeah.
Ooh.
The red ones.
The velvety?
No, actually it was the 7s. Sorry. Yes, all red. and I gave them to Jamar Neighbors.
And he took them to
No,
Flight
and then
Club.
I went to Flight Club the next day and saw that they were worth $750, and I was like, I gotta call Jamar. I gave the kid a stimulus
Jamar.
package, and meanwhile I was sitting on $750. I didn't even know it. So I think after that I brought in a pair, and I don't remember.
Wait, you took them back?
I didn't take them from Jamar. Sometimes Jordan would send me shoes, just off the muscle, just because I did shit with them.
Yeah, I know.
And so they would send me like, nice.
Yeah, no, I know.
But here's the thing about Jordans. Some of them are like fucking 4 pounds each. They're not
all comfortable.
They're not they're really like boots.
One of the ones that we use for Blake's credit.
Yeah.
They're so cool looking, but I can only wear them if I'm not going to be moving a lot.
Yeah.
Like if I have to walk briskly.
They're like gravity boots, basically.
Yeah. Like moon shoes.
Yeah,
or
you're
some
like,
shit.
if you need to lose weight quickly, you'll
They're like
wear
weighted
'em.
vests.
You'll put on your Martin Lawrence coma suit and your Jordans and fucking. I used to do the joke on the Champs that Martin Lawrence, the only guy in the world who ever caught a coma. Caught a coma. He put on one of those workout suits and caught a coma.
Wait, is this a real story?
Yeah, Martin was
me.
in a coma.
No, I know that, but
He
what happened?
was running, and he was. You know when like fighters will wear like I don't know what the fuck they're like plastic, and they keep you.
They make you sweat.
They make you sweat like crazy. Martin was trying to lose weight, and wore one of those and caught a coma.
That's a rude photo.
Emerges from coma. Yeah, in 99. This is 22 years ago. That's how old I am. I remember when Martin, in fact, how old am I? Martin caught a coma, and you know who had to do all the press for him? Dave Chappelle. For the movie Blue Streak. Dave had to just fill in for him. Shit happens. It's a
living
long,
legends.
It's a long
Living
thing.
legends.
Papa John. This hit close to home because Papa John's trying to stop saying the N-word.
That was so. How could they come up with this?
It was so. It's so
much
weird.
time
Like I'm trying to get rid of. What are you fucking talking about? You got to think about it. Dog.
18 months.
How often were you? Are you? Is he a rapper? Is he part of the
Monarchy?
making a mixtape? What the fuck is he doing? Yeah, is he how? I didn't know you were Lord Papa John.
This is why I don't fuck with Papa John's.
But by the way, I think Shaq owns it now.
I thought that was Papa Murphy.
What are you talking about? Shaq owns
Papa Murphy?
John's. Yeah. And if you think he's ever called Shaq the N-word, there's no. I bet Shaq's like, who are you? In what context could you possibly be using the N-word? Seeing that the guy who just took over your company is technically to some.
Well.
All right. And now we'll talk about Dalia quickly.
Do we have a song? Jesus.
We need a segment. We need a song called We're Going to Talk. I mean, you want to talk. It's really the Trouble in the Winner's Circle.
Trouble
Hit it.
in the winner's circle.
I'm dreading talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I gave him. First of all, you read the charges. It feels like a long time ago. Just because I had a big weekend, but maybe I like.
What? No.
I just had a long. Meaning the charges came out against him last week.
Right. It just.
The lawsuit.
Yeah, everything feels like so long ago.
Yeah. But I wanted to believe that someone I knew wouldn't do shit like that. And it's all allegedly. But I just didn't, I wasn't reading the suit like rolling my eyes. I was reading it going like, yeah, that's very possible. and I'm assuming there's some kind of proof. I feel bad for the woman, and I feel I got to a place with Chris, because I don't want to say that I did ayahuasca this weekend, but let's be honest. Look at this wristband and tell me I didn't do ayahuasca. I got a crazy wristband on. Yeah. But I got to a place of empathy, meaning he must be incredibly scared. Just straight up. Like, he must be incredibly scared. And I'm not saying like I'm that's in no way to belittle. I like feel bad for the woman, and I feel empathy for Chris for being most likely terrified. Just as like a person, it's a bad feeling. Whatever you did. Like, I happen to be like, I'm going to be a bad podcast for the next 10 minutes because I am, when it comes to that, I'm like I'm in ayahuasca is like an empathy fucking charge. So I just got like, I just ate the empathy coins. And I just have empathy for the situation he finds himself in. And then you get into, if he did it, is that the kind of person he is? Or is it a thing that he got caught up in? Which is another kind of ayahuasca thought of like, what? Not what are we responsible for, but I just feel bad that if he did the stuff in the case, it's a bad way to be. It is, you have the power but it's a negative fucking impulse. And so I have empathy in that regard, and the difficult thing when somebody is accused of something, it's you can either be loyal and potentially look stupid, which you could say I look stupid, or you can be kind of spineless. And just assume it's true, and like I know nothing, and I'm assuming it's true, and we're all in a bad position. Anyone who knows him is in a bad position, because then I have to decide, and I don't want to be either. I don't want to be a fucking loyal moron or a spineless I don't know what you call it, like believing any accusation against any friend.
Right.
It's a shitty position. The other thought I had was I would like to... Since COVID, I've realized I need to be... I obviously love comedy, right? Been pretty clear about that. Love comedy, love comedians, and I need to be more discerning about giving funny human beings, comedy credit for giving them human credit for being funny. When some people, like Seth's a fucking prince of a person. He said, he's the one who said, I love you first. So he's not, whatever. So I guess it's like one of those things, like as an adult man, I have to be like, I gotta be intelligent about who I give credit to, or you know what I mean? Like, but I don't know, to do over. I guess I would just say nothing with Chris, with Delia.
Maybe the tweets. I think the tweets were just like, maybe for every side, better to not throw your hat in.
Well, if only you told me.
If only someone named Binky told you not to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just because sometimes no matter who it is, no matter what the situation is, something just need to, it's something that you're not directly connected to.
Yeah.
Need to just breathe.
Yeah.
So, and especially when it was so charged and it was happening on Twitter and there was so much like updates and
I will say I'm like allergic to lynch mobs. Like I just fucking, it's like.
That was why you
have
went,
to,
but yeah.
You have to fucking know that this is true.
Right. And that's what triggered you. You were trying, listen, in your Neal's defense, he was trying to be he was trying to do what he would want someone to do for him. Yeah. But the problem is there's so many, that is like the type of argument that they say,
well, it's the worst fucking, it's bringing a knife to a gunfight. It's like bringing a like, wait a second to a let's go.
Yeah, there's no way you did a all things considered, and there's no way to do an all things considered.
Yeah, it's the lowest hanging fruit. And I'm like, guys, there's higher fruit.
Right. And there's just you just have to let it. Yeah. It's a bell curve. It will get worse, and then at some point it just won't be as intense. And then you can do something if you want. But the problem is you would want someone to come to your...
Yeah, it's like I don't want my friends
to do that.
If somebody was like, I would... Well, first of all, if I got into a scandal, Seth would actually... he would call me, but he wouldn't do it.
Would he tell you I love you?
Yeah, of course. But he wouldn't...
He wouldn't, but you can't ask people to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Is I'm like, I hope people would do it. It's like, but at the same time, I also know that I would like to think if I was in one of those problems that I would say to people, like, take this gun, you gotta go. Like, I've got a bunch of shit I'm about to eat, and I don't want to get this on you.
The zombie bit me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go down.
You gotta get the fuck out of here.
So you would, but
I'd like to think I would.
I don't know if you would.
Tell people to get the fuck out?
No, because you do love a loyal bitch.
Well, how would you?
You wouldn't want to abandon ship.
No, of course not. But I get that people have bigger fucking... I wouldn't be mad at Seth. I'd be like, you have a fucking franchise you're in charge of. Like, I'm not going to be
okay, is it more important to have...
Leverage that for me. What's more important?
Okay.
Your job that pays you millions of dollars a year or me?
Would it be more important to have people... behind the scenes support and say nothing in the public, or even though, let's say they had evidence and they knew it was totally false, your past life's coming to fruition, falsely accused of murder. But would you care if, just because at some point it would be a friend watching you go down? It's like,
yeah, but what choice do they have?
But would you be okay within that?
I would like to think I would be. I would like to think I would be. Okay. But I'll also tell you this. I sent Dalia a voice memo just saying, I wish you strength on Saturday. So like...
While you were on ayahuasca?
No, I wasn't on it. But the message occurred to me.
I'm here from Celestial Court.
Chris, I stole my phone back. No, but I'll tell you, as a human being, that's a very scary situation he's in, and just as it was, what Louis was in was scary, and what the people I know that were in were scary, and also the situation that they allegedly put the women in, also scary. And if I knew them, I would like to think I would have sent them a voice memo Saturday as well.
I think you would have.
You look at me. You know I would have.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, we're gonna go, it's quadruple bummer. It's a super duper duper bummer.
Superfecta bummer. Superfecta? Does that sound better?
Quadrifecta, maybe.
Quadriphenia.
Quadrophenia. It's just a really bad, Sarah talked about this a lot when Louis got his stuff, is she's like, what do you do? I've known the guy for 25 years. He's one of my closest friends. I don't want to not be friends with him. I still have all those, memory. It's like Erykah Badu talked about Bill Cosby. She's like, that guy's an amazing contributor to Black life, human life, American life.
Yeah.
It's atrocious what he did, but I'm trying to have empathy. So pardon me, you guys, if I'm white Badu.
No.
I'm a white Badu. No, but that's what, you want to get to it.
Yeah.
I think it's ironic that my ayahuasca bracelet is now
this
being
whole
coming untied.
conversation.
My ayahuasca bracelet's trying to get away from this conversation.
It's like, he doesn't deserve us. He's been trying to tighten his bracelet the entire
since
conversation.
this whole, not a nervous affect at all.
Not at
Make
all.
no mistake. So those are my feelings about Chris, is that I wish him strength, and it's a scary situation, and I wish the young woman strength also. So I guess cancel me. Anything to add?
I was just listening, taking it all in.
No, I know, but why do you feel like, I feel like you're like, I'm digging myself a hole or something?
No,
I
think
be
you're
a part of it.
No, I think that's you thinking that.
Okay.
I'm just like, you're his friend, and we've talked about him on the podcast, and you did have some sort of involvement. So I'm just, honestly, I'm active listening to what it's like to be in your particular position. Like, obviously
I will say, I don't feel like I betrayed women. I think that was the accusation, like, when I wrote those tweets. I don't believe it.
Oh, I didn't think that at all.
Well, you're not going to believe this. People on Twitter did. The great people of Twitter.
I just think that you...
Chop up from Twitter karate.
I don't know. There's some people who don't talk about it at all that are his friends. There's some people that do a little bit. And it's just interesting. Like I've said before, it's like... It's hard to have empathy while you're...
It's hard while I'm tying knots
Now
with
he's
my
using
mouth.
his mouth.
The ladies know what I'm talking about. I think now's the perfect time to talk about oral sex.
So yeah, no, it's like there's, like we said before, there's no real blueprint for anybody. Whether there's an accusation, if something's happened to you, if you're getting accused of something, friends of all these people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think the social media aspect of how to navigate through these things, before let's put in laws so people can get due process.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no rules or even guidelines, or even just like a culture of giving people due process in the day of social media, even whatever side you're on or whatever position you play. So hearing you as like a friend of or an associate of, that someone has made a statement in the past, when just your reaction to it is interesting. So, well,
I'm trying to be consistent in some way. And the good thing about being old is that I'm like, what are you going to, like, it's nothing. This is between me and me.
It just is unfortunately, there are real lives and, trauma at risk, but on some weird level, sometimes it just kind of feels like a weird experiment. Like, okay, Now this, now add this element in. How does she react? Does it make her less, she's more accessible? What if someone finds her, I don't know. It just, the whole thing is it's weird, honestly.
It's new.
It's new, so it feels weird.
It's new. It's a new thing in human history. It's a new,
there's just another
social media.
It's another check and balance.
So it's a new media, new form of communication, and a new set of laws.
It's a new set of laws that we're not all familiar with, and everyone is like, we're all kind of running through a minefield.
Yeah.
Not really. But so when someone steps in one place, it's like, whoa, can't do that. Yeah. And we get it. Okay, yeah, we saw how it plays out from this side of things, It's so, I don't know, it's funny. You see people like, this has nothing to do with the Delia thing, but you see people calling out, we all get together and we'll call out a person for racist behavior. Mm-hmm. And then the person who called out the racist also has racist behavior. So it's just, we get to see, I think if there wasn't social media, Karens and social media go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. I don't think Karen, quote unquote, would have come about without social media and the ability to record.
If something against something, it's Karens are in the eye of the beholder, basically.
Well, no, I just mean that we have a new part of our culture with social media. So we have Karens came from social media. If social media didn't exist, let's say it just we developed a different way with technology, that wouldn't have been a thing. We all were like, there's an aggregate.
It's a funniest home video.
It's America's Funniest Home Video.
It's a blooper.
Right. So
it's a blooper and a practical joke.
I used to love blooper shows. I thought about that the other day. I'm like, blooper shows were so funny.
All of them were Alfonso Ribeiro. Everyone was like, we told the warm-up guy at Fresh Prince to do something crazy.
Right. It's all that.
Watch Alfonso react.
No, so it's just a new thing. It's just a new
technology, and also it's a new expectation of men when it comes to women.
And this specific thing. But I also thought when he was really booming, 10 years ago, I feel like we're going to have psychological conditions that are going to be let's say in 20, 30 years. We're going to have labels for a lot of things that we're just now experiencing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it'll be, they'll realize at a certain point, this is fucking bad.
Yeah. That's
dog, this shit's bad. This social media shit is bad.
They'll have rules. You can't have likes, or we can't do this because it just takes a while when we're in it's like when people were playing around with x-rays. Put your face in it.
It was fun, though.
Neal was alive.
Madam Carey was a friend. I went to the premiere of X-Rays. Anyhow.
I feel like we did it all.
So we did all of our lists. Let's go to some emails, Will.
It's time to check that email.
Hey, Neal and Bianca. It's Mitch from Mississippi. So
it means nothing to me. Go ahead, keep
having
going.
A problem with the mask, man. I've been wearing a mask since March 17th last year. All these motherfuckers down here in Mississippi were like, "You're crazy, ain't shit gonna happen," and I've been on point day one. And I'm really starting to have some serious fatigue with it. I'm it's almost like I've been brainwashed by these fuckers down here. They're starting to win me over. It's tough, man. I'm having a tough time with it.
Fucking having a blast. Sounds like you're having a blast.
Just want to get your guys' thoughts, opinions. Anybody else going through this kind of thing? Where you just come on, man. I've been doing right this whole time, and you fuckers fucked it all up. Now the vaccine's out. Give me a break. So, what Neal, Phil, and Binky, thank you. Thank you guys. Love you.
I think the only thing I would have added to that email is him saying, I'll tell you what. I'm having a heck of a time with this mask.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, wear a fucking mask. It's not that hard. I can't believe the amount of. I've been talking about it for a year. What fucking babies people are about everything. Like, no, I think so. I wanted to do a joke, but I think somebody did a version of it. Like, if there was a world war now, the amount of complaining people would do. Like, I'm stationed in
I know.
fucking Germany, man.
Ugh,
My buddy's in
trench foot.
Hawaii. I got trench foot.
I got trench foot.
No, you don't. That's the athlete's foot. Oh, it feels. I got it in the trench though. It feels trenchy. So I don't wear it, man. It's tiring. It's you know what you also might happen. If you wear it long enough, you forget you're wearing it. That's what I found.
Yeah.
Where I forgot. Kaluuya forgot he was wearing it.
Yeah, it was weird.
I realized he came home.
Oh.
And
then
still
called
had it
you.
on. Yeah.
Okay. He's from Mississippi, so he might be wearing it.
Kaluuya? That's a weird accent.
No.
No,
Our caller.
Yes.
So he might be wearing it 24/7. I mean, we don't know what he's talking about. It sounded like he was wearing it more than most people.
I didn't get that.
Really?
He's like sick of it. Yeah, I'm sick of it too, technically. But I
don't mind the
but
mask.
It's not, like a viral infection kind of sick. It's just it's sort of annoyed kind of sick and like tired of it.
I don't get the mask. I like the mask.
I gotta say,
I like the mask.
You know what the mask has done? It's made it's made with women. It's made a couple 5s into 7s and 8s.
And some of us grew up on America's Next Top Model, and it's called smizing.
Yeah.
Which is called smiling with your eyes.
Please.
Okay.
By the way, little.
Do you have sex with Tyra?
No, co-created by Kenya Barris.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You didn't?
I didn't until like recently, and then I'm always like, that's
Ken Mock, Kenya Barris.
Nice.
Yeah, it's funny. All the
with the masks and the fake eyelashes out here, it works.
Yeah, I'm surprised when I get hit on with my mask.
It's
like, as a guy, can you tell if a girl's attractive?
You can, yeah. I mean, if you do this, you have nice eyes. Like,
thank you.
It pains me to say it. It pains me to say it, but no. But like, if a girl has nice symmetrical eyes and like a nice mask, like a nice Nancy Pelosi style mask, forget it. It's Boner City.
Do you notice you can't see her whole face, or do you still get that
No, I've had
guy-girl
the thing
thing?
where I'm with the guy-girl thing.
Just like she's hot.
Yeah.
Like a mask,
I'll
knows no
make my
bounds.
sexual energy available. I'll open that up. Open up a chest of sexual energy.
You take off the mask.
Can of sexual energy whoop-ass.
You take off the mask. She has an enlarged mouth.
That's
mouth
happened.
is not
just not a good jaw. It's all happened. Look, I've been through it all.
Wow.
Over this
the
quarantine.
gamut.
Yeah.
And
you just say you get a fake phone call and you get out of there. You say Seth's calling and they go, Seth Myers.
He loves me, damn it.
He loves me. So just bear with it, sir.
Stay strong, Mississippi.
Bear with it. But I've been doing a lot this week. I send you strength and I send you empathy.
Well, you know what? Neal has ones, which now you gave me and Will some. Neal, they make you look like a duck.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't love them. I feel like Mother Goose a little, but very comfortable.
Yeah. I bought a box and they scratched my nose up. So I might have some of those if you guys need them. They're better looking. They're better looking. I'll explain what I was about to say. Will, what else?
Goodbye. You got mail.
Hey guys, came to the show for Neal, stayed for Bianca's charm and the lovely dynamic the two of you share. I'm 24 and has been recently told has persistent depressive disorder.
Sure.
And I wanted to hear your thoughts on the guilt that comes with depression. I have memories of, experiencing depression all my life, but I have I uncontrollably compare my life to those who I believe have had it much worse. I feel like I have a similar relationship with depression as Neal, but without the abuse that stems from it. I've recently been taking Zoloft, and worried once the quote honeymoon phase of Zoloft ends, what am I to do with all this guilt I have for taking it in the first place, and what to do if secretly taking a pill every night just isn't cutting it. Love you guys. Love the show. God bless.
Well, since millions of people listen to podcasts, it's not a secret anymore. The guilt. I don't know if I never felt that much guilt about it.
A lot of people, I know friends that were so offended when it was suggested to them by their therapist, and just was like, no, I don't need that.
That's were they white?
Yeah.
Because I think there's obviously more of a stigma in the black community. Like white people, thankfully, have Woody Allen to look up to.
I think it's
in
more
many ways. He is an icon in so many departments. I
think it was more I can handle. Like I don't need.
Yeah, it's I ain't no bitch.
Yeah,
it's I ain't no bitch. You guys know that I have no problem saying that I'm a bitch. And so you do feel like a failure for having depression. You do feel like, what's wrong with me? So, but that's not guilt. Guilt to me would be, why do I have this and other people don't? Meaning I have an advantage here. And that
yeah. Guilt is
guilt.
A weird
I
one.
don't think that's the right word. Or he's saying he compares himself to
people worse
than him. Yeah, but that's
lighten up on yourself.
That's also like immutable and not helpful because somebody's always got it worse.
Yeah.
So
and just lighten up on your don't go so hard on yourself. Like you're taking a pill that helps you.
Yeah. So, and it's not like you're taking it recreationally. You're lucky that you have access to it. Yeah. You're lucky to live in a Western country, but I don't think you're popping 9-10 of them a day. And it's not like Xanax where it's making you like, I'm just fucking zonked on Zoloft.
And also, I don't think anybody who's taking a antidepressant feels like they're killing it. You know what I mean?
No, I will say that there's always a thing where people want you to get off them. Like I've gotten off Zoloft since I started taking ayahuasca and
have you felt the need to go back on?
No.
Cool.
But I don't think I guess it's better, but like I said, I always saw it as like having high cholesterol or something that you just can't control.
But sometimes people have bad side effects. I mean, pills have side effects. So I think I feel like you didn't have that bad of side effects.
My only side effect is I fucked too good.
Wow. Give him that D,
too long
Neal.
and too good.
Give him that D.
I'll tell you what. I'm out here fucking. No, I didn't really have many side effects. So, don't feel guilty. Feel better. Hi, I'm Neal Brennan. And when you've got hooks the way I've got hooks, we'll go to the next one, please.
Goodbye.
Sir.
You've got mail.
Oh, now it's up to us to read them. Okay. Hey, Binkles and Crinkles.
I love it.
I don't know what that means, but I'm offended. The holidays have come and gone, and I meant to write this email in a more time-appropriate manner, but I've been busy doing other stuff. Fair enough. I'm an American male and live in a first-world East Asian country. Pretty cool job, which has a random work schedule, and I sometimes have stretches of free time, which is, you may have guessed it, very conducive to dating multiple women at the same time. I hadn't guessed that. Some relationships have a bit of closeness. Others are more physical in nature. I'm sure you know the deal. I'm being as vague as possible so as not to get myself an invite to the Dry Snitch Olympics.
Yes.
The 2020 Olympics may be in question, but the Dry Snitch Olympics committee does not sleep. This kid's got a real wit to him.
We like it.
With some fortuitous breaks last holiday season, I was able to navigate the holidays fairly smoothly. I don't personally like societal mandated gift giving like Valentine's Day, but Christmas is special to me. at least back home in the States. However, in a country that recently adopted a facsimile of Christmas from the West, being expected to do traditionally Christmas things here feels a bit disingenuous and irks me on some level. So I didn't spend a lot of money on anything like that, and just did small but thoughtful gifts for the girls who I actually want, the girls I actually have a good connection with. The girls who I have a mostly physical relationship with didn't get me anything, and I didn't get them anything, which seems very reasonable to me. With all that being said, I'm wondering if Neal and Bianca has ever gone through a holiday season while seeing multiple partners, and if so, how did you go about it? What Binkles Thinkles and how Crinkles Finkles? Fucking kid. Bianca, you're go ahead.
I don't see. I've dated multiple guys at the same time, but I'm not fucking multiple guys at the same time, so I don't know if that's the same definition.
I'm the opposite. I've fucked multiple people at the same time, but haven't dated multiple people. That's a shout out to Patrice O'Neal for that joke construct.
So when he said,
I have a very funny text update from something we talked about on the show. Someone I dated texted me about.
Give me a keyword.
Avoidant.
Okay. So when he says here, this thoughtful gifts for the girls I actually have a good connection with, and then the girls that it's mostly physical. So he's out here relationshiping and fucking a little bit. That's a little weird. I feel like you have a connection with one and you're fucking a few, or for a guy at least. I
don't.
You're getting
know.
like into it.
You ever
be like
great idea. You ever be connected to somebody physically, like it's good sexual chemistry to the point where it feels like very connected?
Yeah.
Okay. So should you get that person a present?
But it's
even
only
if you're
physical.
not social. Yeah, it's only physical, but it's anointed.
Stupid. Yeah.
I'm not a gift giver. I'm a
random gift giver. I love a random unsolicited.
I'll get if I have.
You're a gift giver of your own shit.
Take this. Get this out of here.
It's hostile with Neal. It's not hostile.
It's no way loving whatsoever. There's no emotion behind it at all.
Yeah, I'm hung up on multiple girls out that he has a good connection with, giving them all gifts, and then there's the second tier that he's just kind of
I don't think you need to tier them, and I also think little thoughtful things are as helpful or as positive as a Lexus.
But I do not do holiday stuff with someone I'm not more serious about.
I was talking to somebody recently who was celebrating a birthday and a Valentine's Day. They were near each other, and he was like, he's like, I gotta not talk to any of the women I'm talking to for like a week.
Oh, it was his.
It was his birthday, and it was her Valentine's Day, of course, because it's for the ladies.
Yeah, of course.
And he had to withdraw completely, just because he's like, I can't. He wasn't serious enough with any of the women to be like. He didn't want them to know it was his birthday, and then what do we do? And then you have to be like,
Yeah. You know, it's funny. That just made me think of if you're dating. Valentine's Day is hell.
Mm-hmm.
If you're casually dating, Valentine's Day is, oh my God.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
For some reason, as a culture, we've decided to have a what are we conversation as a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So it's terrible.
Yeah. What are we day?
What are we day?
Yeah, it's not good. Now the text I got
Okay, here you go.
was from a woman I dated who listened to the podcast, and we were talking about the thing of dating someone, and it's like dating someone with avoidant personality or connection attachment style. It's like going to Cheesecake Factory and they don't give you
the buzzer.
a nub. They don't give you a buzzer nub. And she texted me and she's like, were you talking about me? And I was like, no. And then she wrote, by the way, that's exactly what it's like to date you.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I was like, huh. Okay.
That's weird though on her. She's like, were you talking about me?
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm talking about you. Yeah. I think she was like, are you projecting? And I was like, no.
Oh.
And she's like, okay, because you're talking about yourself.
Yeah. Well, you admitted you're avoidant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm an avoidant. I love that description.
Yeah.
It's great. It's perfect.
The restaurant's still open. Your table's been ready. Just,
It was ready.
I just got busy with putting ketchups in other ketchups.
I had to do roll-ups.
I had to do roll-ups. Gang. Miss.
Goodbye. You've got mail.
I moved to California from the Philly area 10 years ago and got involved in the nonprofit world. I currently live and work in San Francisco, mostly supporting isolated seniors.
Oh.
That's nice.
But my work also extends into working with with our ever-growing homeless community. As the level of wokeness continues to move further and further left, I find myself censoring myself more and more. My joke about my pronoun being a B-flat played on a baritone saxophone no longer gets used.
It's really funny.
That's a good joke that I don't quite get, but it is a good joke.
There's a joke in there.
I was at a conference on harm reduction. There was an organization sharing information about harm reduction and pregnant women. Basically, they were applying harm reduction instead of focusing on stopping drug use completely, focusing on how to use within with this to the least amount of harm to drugs to mothers who were using drugs while pregnant. They basically had prepared a pamphlet on how pregnant women could use hard drugs more safely during pregnancy. Now, harm reduction has proven to be effective in a lot of ways, but I felt like this was taking things a little far. If you're only risking harm to yourself, it's one thing, but when you add a child in, I think it's quite different. I feel like we should be telling pregnant women, don't use meth, crack, heroin, etc. while pregnant, as your baby will be fucked up. I feel like we should be able to just tell people not to do things instead of constantly trying to meet them where they are when their behavior is becoming more and more extreme. What's the next pamphlet? You shouldn't molest your kids, but if you do, here's how to fuck them up the least. Well, if you've got the printer, why not? If we keep moving the standard further and further, doesn't society just self-destruct at some point? I feel like San Francisco is a good example of a city gone too far left and its regular citizens suffering because of it. I'm curious about both of your opinions on how we rein in our wokeness before we start to feel so awake that psychosis sets in. P.S. Neal has worn the bird noise meditation headband thing. Or have you worn it on ayahuasca? If not, I think it's a missed opportunity. Haven't.
Yeah.
Haven't, but I did
it's kind of rude to everybody.
My Fitbit and my heart rate was consistent.
Oh, not through the roof?
No.
Interesting.
No. Yeah, I don't. Should you tell?
This reminds me of your friend's book.
Yeah, the assumption is that people are going to do. Just because you say don't doesn't mean that they're gonna listen to you. So I think this is a mitigating thing.
Yeah.
It's horrible. But if you're, I'm not saying give them crack. I'm not saying give them heroin. I'm not saying give them the chemical. I'm just saying it's better than abstinence. Abstinence is no sex education. That's what he's kind of going like, should we be telling kids how to fuck?
Right.
What are the options? They're fucking. She's using. I mean, should you get them into rehab? Absolutely. Should you get them into a program? Absolutely. But
it's not a realistic approach because that's like how we punish drug users. Mm-hmm. They still come in. Mm-hmm. Because it's more than just like, that I got that punishment worked. It's like, it's an addiction. It's its own thing. So I'm not surprised that San Francisco has a harm reduction thing. I don't know. I kind of don't think it's bad. It's just really sad and tricky. It's like a tricky thing.
But
I don't think it's bad.
That's the.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously when you put it into like molesting kids and but you can take that, like, you can take new age help or different ways of helping people. You can take out whatever the thing is you're helping and put in something worse.
Yeah.
And it kind of ruins the whole thing. But
it's also just abstinence does not work. It ends up it makes it worse because people feel like I'm already fucking, why even wear a condom? You know what I mean? Like I'm already breaking the rule, so I might as well go for broke.
100%. Yeah. And then like, don't think of what I mean here is if you just take out drug addicted pregnant mothers and you put in child molester, like it's never going to feel good.
Yeah.
You know? So,
the child molester would feel pretty good, I think.
Or like wife beater, beat your wife. Don't ruin the face.
Yeah.
So it's
under where people can't see the marks.
Right. So just, what can you do?
Yep.
Goodbye.
Now
You've got mail.
HNF and WBT about our treatment for treatment-resistant depression. After a car accident over 5 years ago, my son's traumatic brain injury has led to a deep and treatment-resistant depression, which is common in TBI sufferers, about 60 to 70%. Since he has tried several medications, SSRIs, etc., and therapy, CBT, and much better results with DBT over the years, with minor improvement, would your next stop be TMS, ketamine, psychedelics, or ayahuasca? This is like a Neal Brennan game show.
Yeah, really.
What should he do next? His TBI has similar symptoms as seen in the HBO Real Sports video you referenced, short-term and long-term memory loss with depression. About 4 years after not even smoking pot before, I started microdosing LSD and found many benefits and decided to have a full dose experiment, which has been key to improving all aspects of my life, allowing us to move to San Diego.
Wow.
Well.
Moving on up.
Well. Exodus my ass. People are out here doing LSD and fucking charging into California. I know you're not a doctor. You don't know that. But we've been through so many, we feel we could benefit from your firsthand experience. Thanks so much for all the laughs and insights, Feeler, since episode 1, really. I would suggest TMS or ayahuasca. Those are the two things that TMS had. That's transcranial magnetic stimulation. That's very helpful. I had it twice. And then ayahuasca, of course, if you want to wear wristbands. So yeah, like I think I would recommend ayahuasca to pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah.
I'm the star child. In fact, you want to know what I did today? Told my mom about it.
You want her?
I don't want her to do it. I just wanted her to know.
Oh, well, how was she like? Oh,
no, she was. It's a long story, but my sister had a babysitter that my mom and sister and kids loved, and she moved, and she's like, and she was Brazilian, and before she moved, she was like, you know why you guys like me? I do ayahuasca every weekend. Goodbye. So my mom's like, what? So my mom has some experience with it. As like, she called it a tea. So she called it tea, which it is.
It is.
It's like, a cold brew tea. It's a hot tea that's called iced tea. It's an iced tea. It's Lipton's. It's basically Lipton's. So she was fine with it. And then I also threw in there's like the Christian element to it that is fake but funny.
What if she was like, no, Neal, this is wrong?
She wouldn't.
Or what if she
the
just
funny
didn't
thing
think
was it would not be in her best interest, because the reason I called her was because the other night on ayahuasca I felt connected to her.
Really?
Yeah. So I was calling her to tell her like, hey, I'm connected. I felt very connected to you because of this tea. So you want to approve of this tea or not? It's a shakedown. But she was with it.
Goodbye. You've got mail.
Hey, Neal and Banks, day 1, R.L. Stein and all that jazz. I can't believe this is my first email, and feel free not to read this on the air. It's about Mr. Potato Head.
Okay, go.
The brand is changing its name from Mr. Potato Head to just Potato Head because they want it to be known they sell more than just the Mr. Potato Head line. they will still sell a Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head figure. I'm just sick of my conservative friends crying about cancel culture and the libs and getting worked up over this thing. That's another case where I assumed I knew the story and just didn't know it at all.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
Yeah. So.
But also, doesn't it seem a little late if it's just marketing?
They're just changing the name of the company.
No, I know. What I'm saying is they introduced Mrs. Potato Head so long ago. I don't know, just a funny move right now.
They're just changing it. It's like Instagram now is Instagram by Facebook.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Just so people know that they sell Mrs. Potato Head. It's just funny.
No, that wasn't why they changed it. They changed it just to Potato Head, meaning they're probably getting into like potato babies and all that. Honestly, like they're gonna get into like mashed potato. They're gonna get all of it. They're grilled, fucking sautéed, au gratin. They'll get into. They're just gonna expand the brand. That's all they're doing.
Right.
So that's a point against the trans community.
Goodbye. You've got mail.
Hey, Neal, I love the show. Blah blah blah. I love Bianca. Simply put, you're wrong about fat people. This is a good fat letter.
And it is fat with words.
The BMI on this letter. Pretty this letter is morbidly long. And simply put, you're wrong about fat people, their BMIs, and just about everything regarding the subject. I am part of the small percentage of women you described in your last show who have a diagnosable medical issue that puts me outside of the normal BMI range. I have PCOS, a hormonal disease that affects millions of women and is hard to diagnose. I'm not a huge person, but if you don't have skinny PCOS, your body is literally fighting you to lose weight, even if you don't eat. But I swear, but I can't wear a sign for others to let them know I have a disease before they judge me. For someone who's struggled with depression, I'm very surprised that you would simply view the typical fat person as someone who is simply not disciplined. I understand that you have attempted to clarify that it's just fat people who don't have diagnosable medical issues who should be ashamed, but their gluttony should not be written off as laziness. You and I and millions of others who battle clinical depression, she keeps bringing it up. She's using it against me. Know that finding treatments and doctors that could help us is a constant battle. Being an alcoholic is a constant battle. Having any mental health issues is a constant battle. It's off-putting, insensitive, and contradictory that you would judge an invisible mental health issue as something that you just have to work at some more. Anyway, I just wanted to write in for your listeners who may have shed a tear or two when our issues are dismissed by someone who we know is intelligent and not judgmental about so many other subjects. Did I make you cry, baby? I'm kidding. Oh, did I get to you? I'm kidding. You have no clue why someone decides to eat their seventh donut, or yeah, they do because they're delicious, or why they would choose to ruin their metabolism while falling into those depressive episodes. On and on and on. She's basically just crying for empathy, which you've come on the right day.
Here he goes.
I got empathy for my obese brothers and sisters.
Daniel.
Hold on, let me put this wristband.
Put your wristbands in the air one time.
Neal's different now. This is another fat letter.
Well, it's fine.
K Tal Nardo and Bianca Caliente.
Hey.
Active LSTNER. Neal, I don't think fatness is solvable with shame or discipline. If shame worked, there'd be no fat people because fatness is super shameful. If discipline worked, I wouldn't be heavy because I am disciplined, accomplishment-oriented motherfucker. There's a strong vein of compulsion and genetics at work, plus the reality that, unlike alcohol or drugs, food is unavoidable. Imagine if you walked into an AA meeting and told all the alcoholics that they would have to drink one beer at a time for the rest of their lives. Okay. I don't love the analogy, but just one beer, right? How hard is that? Easy for you, maybe, and for me, but not for them. Would it be fair to shame them and lecture them about discipline when they inevitably, whatever? Yes, I have empathy for you. If you're overweight, whether it is genetic. Here are my empathy categories.
Okay.
No, I have empathy for everybody.
I don't believe you.
I do. I'm sorry that you're caught up in it. Or I'm sorry that you're caught up in that habit. Or I'm sorry that you have a genetic disorder, PCOS, or I'm sorry that you're caught up in an unhealthy thing. It's a horrible podcast when you talk like this. But
it's
sorry.
Refreshing.
Sorry,
it's
guys.
Refreshing.
It's empathy.
Empathy. That's empathy for you.
I'm sorry that you're going through that.
I'm going to read this.
Go.
Hi, Jesus. It's really loud. Hi, Neal. Hi, Binky. LSTNER from Madison, Wisconsin.
That's nice.
Hope to see Neal in town in the future. I just warned. Okay. I was just warned and had my profile info deleted from a popular dating app that just went public for hate speech. In reality, I just expressed a feelery attitude that I'm not attracted to overweight people with the tag, sorry, not sorry. I think I'm being honest in an environment that doesn't allow discrimination for body type in the search algorithm. What do you think?
We don't talk like that no more. You came on the wrong day. No, it's the obvious
someone flagged
comparison would be a woman saying I need a tall guy. Or no shorties or whatever.
No
right. They don't say it. They just live it.
Yeah.
So just don't be a fucking asshole. You can just hit X instead of like, fuck you.
Right.
Definitely don't
do
start
as
a
I
podcast
say, not as I do.
Don't do it. I would never write no fatties on the thing.
You would just...
All right, you got to have giant cans.
But
I would never.
Respond. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Yeah, just don't write that. You're being an asshole. It's not helpful. Whereas me, I use it as it's like a philosophical argument I'm having. You're dealing at a low frequency. I'm at a high frequency. I wear wristbands.
Goodbye.
Again, Star Child. Feel free to
Star
change
Child.
it.
You've got
Hello,
mail.
Neal and Binks. Beal and Ninks. On the last episode, while Neal was making a very valid point about blues music, he briefly alluded to the Blues Brothers movie, and I wanted him to dig into that a little more. I'm a 44-year-old longtime fan of comedy, and I'm admittedly a few years shy of the era of early SNL and the Blues Brothers' initial relevance. That said, there's plenty of stuff from that era that I love and admire. However, I've literally never gotten the Blues Brothers' appeal, and to a lesser extent, John Belushi. The Blues Brothers in particular is painfully unfunny to me. Like, what is it even about? Some losers from Chicago that sing Motown cover songs and get in car chases a lot. I can watch some shit like Home Improvement, and while it's not my cup of tea, I can see why some people might like it. But with the Blues Brothers, it still baffles me. Now I know how people are about their dead icons. So whenever I bring this up, it's met with at best a lukewarm response of people saying what basically sums up to you had to be there because apparently John Belushi was some comedic genius. But man, I don't see it. Rest in power, King, though, of course. I realize that this is all opinion and personal taste, but I'm curious what Neal's take on the Blues Brothers and Belushi is. After all, you're a pro and a grizzled veteran at this humor shit. Not humor, it's more comedy. Humor is like less funny. So maybe you have some insight us laymen don't with things like this. Perhaps you can explain a nuance I'm missing here, how Neal feel and what Binks think. Because people hated my blues point of view.
Well, I didn't like it.
Well, that's
I
fine.
said it.
Yeah.
I said I didn't.
But like people like fucking,
Oh, they were like,
it's fine. We're all gonna be fine. It's like there's another one coming next week, fellas.
it's just
it's not gonna affect the blues at all. It's still like jazz.
That's
It still basically has to be supported by charitable foundations. So it's good. Enough about jazz.
Jazz, blues.
Belushi. No, I know. I just brought jazz into it.
bring jazz into it
to polarize people further. Belushi. I actually told Lauren I didn't think Belushi was funny. He just did not do it for me.
Okay.
I didn't say it like, "Hey, man." I basically said what this guy's saying. Like, I watch Belushi and it doesn't work on me. It's Farley to me is way sillier. I'm very aware of Farley's like silliness.
Yeah.
And that Farley's also, I think, fatter. So seeing him do a cartwheel feels like an optical illusion or something. Like, how the fuck are you doing that? with Belushi, he just seems like not fat enough to be like a pure fat guy.
Yeah.
And though I do have empathy for him, gotta say it, must be said. And the Blues Brothers there's shit in the Blues Brothers. There's like good jokes in the Blues Brothers, like giving their address as Wrigley Field is a good joke. Like there's Nazis after them. That's funny. But it's mostly just minstrel. It's minstrel. Straight up. There's no other way to call it. It's just taking a black thing and white people doing it. I didn't even realize that the joke in the church is about black church. There's a joke where they're at church and then people start doing flips. And like 2 years ago, I was like, wait a minute. That seems like a joke about how good black church is. So you're not wrong, King. And John Belushi, not funny. No, he's funny.
Goodbye.
But even like he did the samurai was like it was like, look at this white guy doing a Japanese guy.
He was just he capitalized on that kind of like.
Yeah, but he did it at like a higher intellectual level.
Right.
But it never. I get that he's a dynamic performer. I get that like talking with a scratchy voice and screaming. Blues Brothers. I remember the joke in the Blues Brothers where he eats. There's a joke where he's like quick impression and he eats a bunch of stuff and he goes, "What am I?" And they go, "What?" And he pops and he goes, "A zit." And I was 9 and thought that's a bad joke. People 19, it's the most successful R-rated comedy of all time.
Right.
Literally, it's the most profitable movie of all time. And I thought that's not a good joke. I don't fucking know. It doesn't mean it. It doesn't mean I was wrong. It's a popular joke. But in terms of like, what's the premise?
Neal.
You fill your. I mean, honestly, I was like, I don't know. What did I say? Oh, yeah, it's an Animal House. Will.
Wow, Will.
Really.
He's
bringing the hammer down. Bring the hammer down.
Gunning for your spot on the
joke
podcast.
In Animal House. You know what's a good joke in Animal House? That date rape one. That's a hell of a joke.
I missed all this kind of comedy era.
Bianca, honey, you got to go back. The Animal House has got funny shit in it. At one point, a guy's playing acoustic guitar on like the steps. And like it's like just like fucking about guys who play acoustic guitar at parties, and Belushi comes up and just smashes his guitar, which is fucking hilarious. And the guys who wrote it are Doug Kenny and I believe Harold Ramis, who were great.
I do like those old school comedies that are funny signs of the times, like "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker," or these things where you do get this, you know, I don't know, certain tropes that aren't, I don't know, that have been done to death already, but it was kind of the first time they were being tackled.
Rock had a good "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker" story the other day.
Oh my God, I love "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker."
That we were talking, you know that one rib joke?
Yeah.
He did it in his act, and he was doing it in his act, and then Keenan wrote it into the script, and Eddie was like, you know, that's Rock's joke. So he's the only person in the movie that they flew out to be in the movie. Everybody else was local. But Keenan was like, I don't know if Eddie made him fly him out, but he's like, you can't do that joke. Somebody else can't do that joke.
Now,
I don't know if Keenan knew Chris did the joke.
If I was a conspiracy theorist, I'd be like, okay, it's like, smells like a Paco Delicious. There's a person named Keenan in the story.
Oof. It sounds like I fell down and hit my head. and flip mode is the greatest. Yes, we have here is a case of the Paco Deliciousness. An acute case of the Paco Deliciousness.
Goodbye.
Greetings,
You've got
Bianca.
mail.
Neal and always on cue. Will? Well, I don't know about always, but
one
here's a great one. Okay,
L.
this is about Potato Head. Should have put it with the other Potato Head. Transgender listener here.
Oh,
now,
nice.
I could be wrong, but my understanding was the Mr. Potato Head company under Hasbro is dropping the Mr. from the company name. The toys being sold are still Mr. and Mrs. There is going to be a new family set that is not gendered. Do I give a shit? No. Did some reporter hit the jackpot to get page views? Bet your ass they did. Is going to the bathroom a nightmare? This is great. All of our questions answered.
Yes, perfect.
Sometimes it also does not help that a common medication to block testosterone prescribed for transgender women is a diuretic.
Damn.
So do I hold it till I get home? Chance someone looking for a fight or end up being chased out on camera? That sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
In your words, as someone that does not visually read as a woman, you fucked up somehow. That's what she's not saying. She's saying as that person, you fucked up. That's a very common sentiment by women within the trans community. My makeup wasn't good enough, or I needed more surgery to pass as a cis woman. Can I even afford it? Do I even want to pass as cis? These are thoughts that practically never leave my mind.
Interesting.
Then we will get attacked by someone misusing feminism to say we're practicing an outdated ultra-feminine lifestyle to hold back other women from equal rights or hijacking safe spaces. Just can't win some days. Is gender a thing going away? No. The concept of organization paperwork, great. I love paperwork. I fucking hate it. A few more form options to fill out would be helpful, especially for non-binary individuals. The majority of people will skip those questions anyway since it's not relevant for them. Bianca, you would just ask, quote, what are your pronouns without preferred in the questions.
Okay.
Or like most of the time, we will correct you on what to use if we feel it won't start a whole rant from who we are talking to. We are a tiny bit of the population and we disagree with each other on a lot of the concepts being debated by cisgender folks who don't bother asking for our input. Well, why would we? If interested, there are a bunch of transgender subreddits one could ask questions in to educate themselves. People there will do a much better job than this non-run-on mess I wrote. To the trans guys and non-binary pals who are never brought into these talking points, stay strong, fam. Love ya. And when I read this the first time, I didn't realize it was a dig. They end with, tell Dave I say hi.
Yeah. You didn't realize it was.
I didn't realize. I was like, well, if it's a fucking, why are you
Yeah,
bringing him
Neal
up?
for first
like,
thought
it's fuck you, I'll fight you.
I love this person.
It is very helpful. Somebody else wrote on my Twitter like that. They're like, you're gonna get you sounded awful talking about the trans. It's like you and I were both, I think, pretty open about not knowing.
Oh yeah, we even said, "Could a listener
I
please
wish there
help?"
like this is very fucking helpful.
It's helpful and it's nice to be able to just get a glimpse. And it's not like I need to walk in your shoes, but it's nice that they allowed us to come in to what it is like there, like the bathroom thing. Thinking about that, thinking about
that's where I get like that's makes me want to cry 3%. Do you know what I mean? Like,
3%.
Again, this is the wristband talking, but it's like, oh fuck, there must be, and you're diuretic, and and the thing, and a chain reaction, and
just things you didn't think about. Like, do I even want to pass a cis? That's really interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I think like I don't know, a long time ago on the podcast, I clumsily stumbled through something I was trying to say, and I couldn't figure out the right way to say it. But I was saying something like, my point was, and it wasn't well put, but it was that sometimes it seems like transgender women want that, kind of what she tapped on, like practicing an outdated ultra feminism sort of thing. Like, I do wonder why, like what type of, like, how do you go about saying, oh, I want to be this kind of woman? Because there's so many different types of women, you know, we're not like monolithic. So I was kind of wondering about that when she says, you know, do I even want to pass a cis? Like, that's really interesting. It's interesting that these different things that I think you just naively assume, yeah, they want to be exactly like me as a woman. Someone that's transitioning to a woman.
Used to do the joke about that where he said the most transgender people only, it's a 10-year-old joke, but they only want to dress like a woman from the Far Side cartoon. Like just this like
such
crazy.
a specific.
a crazy good specific angle where you don't. Yeah, it's like, why are you all drawn to that thing?
But then I start realizing,
but they're not all drawn.
They're
to
not,
that thing. Yeah.
and you start realizing you filled in a lot of the blanks for trans people, your own blanks. Where I don't know. I'm just happy someone wrote in.
Yeah, somebody that was measured about it and gave us the benefit of the doubt that we don't want to do them harm.
Right.
And at least I don't. I can't speak for you.
Excuse you.
And it reminds me of, she brought Dave up, the segment that we used to do, again, coming full circle, with Mooney on the show, Ask a Black Dude, was based on Dave had done it at a stand-up show where he was like, it was all white people. I was like, you guys have any questions about blackness that you want me to answer? And one of this is a fucking hilarious question that somebody asked. This is in New York in the 90s or 2000s. They go, hey, why do black guys wear one of their pant legs up when they ride bikes? It's because they didn't want to get oil on their Timbs. I'm kidding. They didn't want to get oil on their jeans or whatever. But it was a thing that there are a million questions about transgender people that are not coming from a bad place. That I wish that there were more. There was more of a community. I think she said subreddit. I don't think I'm going to go there.
There is a community. We just aren't
more of a. I'm sorry. I don't mean like there's not a community. I mean a dialogue.
I wish there was too. I mean, that's the reason like why we talk. I mean, what do we say? A race and dating advice podcast.
Yeah. And the aggravating thing is, that if you don't know, it's automatically hostile. You don't know because you don't know. I don't fucking know. It's like the thing I said where I was like, somebody said, what's their anatomy like? And I was like, I don't know. And we're liberals.
Right.
So imagine what my mom thinks. Terrified. Not with the ayahuasca stuff, but or whatever, an older person thinks.
But that's everybody. I mean, I told you the story about my friend let off balloons for her birthday, and these environmentalists tried to fight us. And I was gonna
yeah, but
get
yes,
violent
it's
with
the
an
assumption of
environmentalist.
bad and the thing of like, it's not my job to teach you. Yeah, it is, because I don't. It's what we're talking about with like civil rights. Shouldn't have to. Yeah, you shouldn't have to. But unfortunately, you're dealing with human beings, and there's a lot of it's remedial. Our understanding of shit is remedial.
I think there's a limit for what someone, because I remember I was watching something and they were talking about, it was a trans woman talking about the surgery she had to have for her genitalia. And I just Googled it and it was all there, Yeah. So is it a trans woman's job to educate me? I can also just go get the education.
Yeah, but you're going to get to your point last week, you're going to get a better education from her.
I am, but there also is the point of invasiveness, especially when it comes to trans topics. Like, what's it like down there?
Right,
I don't know. Obviously we're not going to be that crass, but there is,
yes.
But we all are, at some point someone wants to ask them something. I mean, you can get the information. Do you need it always from the horse's mouth? Do you need a black person to tell you like, that's racist? Or
no, but there are, I remember we were doing a sketch. We did a sketch that didn't work. And it was where me and Dave both, it was about how faulty the police description, like artist rendering system was. Where we both picked a celebrity and then had them and tried to describe them to an artist, to a sketch artist.
Like you actually did to a real one?
Yeah, we hired a sketch artist and like tried to.
Why didn't the sketch work?
Because it wasn't a sketch. It was literally,
it was just interesting.
Dave described Martin Luther King and I described Gary Coleman.
And did they look like it?
No.
Do you have the photos?
No, I have no idea.
No.
But I don't know why I'm saying, I just remembered in the sketch, Dave said something. Maybe it was he was talking about black skin. Black men's penises are darker than the rest of their body. I had no idea about that. When I tell you none. It wasn't, I didn't ask, I'm happy to know it. Like, I'm like, that's interesting, but I wasn't like, it's exotic. And I didn't immediately go to like a bad faith thing.
Okay.
And so I feel like if there's more good faith.
I see where we're coming full circle.
Good faith explanations of things that are like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know that. It's better for society.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of white and non-black people right now going like, I didn't know that.
Goodbye.
We're helping.
We're helping everyone.
Do you have? Can we just do the last one?
Yeah, we're just gonna do the last one.
So funny.
You've got mail.
Oh, this is very funny. Hey, what's up, Neal and Bianca? This is Slim. Love the show and I don't know if that's an Eminem joke.
Or the comedian, you know Slim?
No.
Black Jesus? Is his name Slim?
No, he don't like me.
Oh, really?
No.
What'd you do?
Nothing. It's his name's not Slim. I mean, is that his real name?
Google Black Jesus. I'm pretty sure his name's Slim.
Yeah. Gerald Johnson.
Well,
Slim. Oh, Slink.
Slink. Okay, yeah. My bad.
Still don't like me.
Okay.
There's a quadrant of black people that think I'm a bitch, and I have to live with that.
Okay.
Because of press. When Dave said that something racist happened, people think I'm the white guy who laughed at him, which is why I said at the Mark Twain thing, people were like, "Oh," because they realized that it wasn't me.
Right.
But why change? Why update your files?
You're the queen.
Yeah,
he wasn't the racist one.
Yeah. Okay. I just ran the organization, or whatever that is. What's up, Neal and Bianca? This is Slim. Love the show and the old podcast, and I got a question for both of y'all. Neal, has anybody told you remind them of Bobby that plays the CIA agent on Snowfall? And would you jump into a serious role but with comedic element in that realm like Rock on Fargo? That's the first question. I'll explain what's racist about that. Bianca, all right, don't get mad, but do you have allergies? I be hearing you sniffle on the audio, and I ain't want to assume the worst.
Wow, Neal.
Or that you be in that joint partying, which, shit, live your life if you are. And can you sing? You seem like you'd have a great singing voice. Keep that shit player like y'all do. Slim.
You answer yours first.
What happens with when you're affiliated with black people, the way I have been?
Okay.
People people think I look like Eminem. I don't really look like Eminem. People think I look like there's just once they associate you with that thing in their mind, that's who you are. I can't really explain it. I don't not look like that guy. I look like that guy. That one, I look like him. Yeah, I'll give him that. But it's always like a black show. I can't think of any examples, but that it's a common thing where they're like, "You look like," and I'm like, "No," but cool. And then of course, would I do drama? You must not have seen the Tom Hardy hit Capone last year, where I played his lawyer, and I had 13 lines, and it was not bad.
You're good.
Thank you.
So we've determined long ago that I'm slightly allergic to Keith, so I get sniffles when I'm in Neal's house. But I'm trying.
But she parties.
I feel bad. I'm sorry, you guys. This is annoying. I don't notice I do it. Do you notice I sniffle?
I don't.
Do you, Will? Oh, ew. Will just shook his head. Yes. So.
Well, he has to edit it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why. Well, I will.
I think it's wrong that he puts reverb on all of them, but that's his choice.
I will I'll monitor my sniffles. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
Can you
about
sing?
that. Here's the funny part about that.
I don't think you can.
Okay, relax.
I feel like I've maybe heard you sing and it wasn't as pretty as I thought it would be.
No. That definitely you made that up because I definitely can't sing, and it would never have given you hope. It's never like, it was not.
No. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like you went for it. Anyone that can sing at a certain point, they're going to break it out pretty quick.
Well, also, whatever I've sung, I sing bad, like even worse than I can.
Yeah.
So it's like,
bad,
just a dog, just a wolf. But this is the weird thing. All my life, I have been asked if I can sing specifically. All the time. You have a voice like a singer. Do you sing?
Oh, that's true. Well, you do have a deep voice.
I have a deep voice.
A rich voice.
And if you think about it, like Whitney, Mariah, all of them have low.
Does Whitney have a low voice?
Yeah. They all have yes, I like obsessed with Whitney. They all have very low kind of gravelly voices. So
on Bobby and Christina, Bobby and Whitney, she had a low voice. Like just walking around.
Bobby and Whitney? What do you have? Oh,
the reality show?
Yeah, she just has a low voice.
Okay.
Never heard her speak?
No, I did. I just thought, when I think of crack is whack, I just think like, I don't hear it deep.
Yeah, I'm sure she has moments of not being.
That's her.
Just like me, I talk like, but no, she has Neal. I mean, Will.
Go to the vault, Will. Go to the ET vault.
Go to her. No, go to her, Wendy Williams, or not Wendy. Her and Diane Sawyer, Whitney and Diane Sawyer.
That wanted to be there to make sure, everything was cool and that, no other women were around and
That's not deep.
This is my first.
I don't consider that deep.
Oh, I do. It's like gravelly.
It's more like.
What are you talking about? Play that again.
Love. Remember, I had never really ever been in love with anybody like I was in love with Bobby. So.
It's a little something.
It's like a little.
It's a little.
That's what I mean. It's just
at
everybody. It's like a gravelly kind
Quick
of.
impression. Hit me.
I never won. It's all in the mirror.
Anything you want, baby. So yeah, it's weird. I kill it at karaoke, and I don't know why.
Interesting.
I kill it.
What's your song, please?
Multiple. So. I love a good, what's her name? I love a good Paula Abdul. What's the last thing I think? Little River Band.
Athletes.
I sing a lot of old music no one remembers. But
I'd pick rap songs with the N-word in it and say, I only say the N-word. I kid.
Have you done karaoke?
No.
Come on.
Maybe once. No, I don't even. It's just my experience with karaoke is it's a joke that gets old quickly, and you've got 3 minutes and 15 seconds left after the joke is already done.
The worst is when you pick it sounds like a great song in your head.
Yeah.
AKA
like,
Love Shack. Don't sing. The amount of and what? Oh, I was like fucking going down in flames. Love Shack.
There's an Atlantic, Harper's Monthly magazine had a story 15 years ago. You know who loved, ironically enough, Whitney Houston and the song Love Shack?
Who?
Osama bin Laden.
No.
Specifically was going to kill Bobby Brown because he loved Whitney Houston that much. Very racist, had to accept her.
Osama bin Binky?
I don't know what that means. Osama bin Laden?
I just mean I like Love Shack and Whitney.
Yeah. Oh, Osama bin Binky. Binky bin Laden.
Didn't he have a whole thing of what's her face?
Porn?
Black woman that could speak Russian?
Oh, that I don't know about.
Condi.
Condoleezza Rice? He liked her?
Yeah, didn't he have photos of her?
Osama wanted to marry Whitney Houston.
That is so funny.
From 2012. Planned to kidnap Whitney Houston and wanted to kill Bobby Brown.
That's fucking weird.
I said I want to fuck her.
That is a direct quote from Osama bin Laden. Guys, you got a lot of... Look, if you come...
Guys, a lot of content.
If you like comedy, information, clips, insider knowledge, racial insights, transgender insights now, Keenan...
Potato insight.
Two different Keenans. Multiple Moonies. What a show.
So many Moonies.
Now, unfortunately, for you, we don't have to take this shit.
We really don't.
You know what? We really don't.
How you feel? Tell me how you feel.